It's Wednesday, February 18th. A golden moment for speed skaters right here from Ottawa who won the top prize in the Team Pursuit speed skating event.
Concerns for plans that an interprovincial tramway might go off the rails as funding has been put in jeopardy.
People tell me it makes them smile, so that makes me smile.
And local women's snow sculptures are bringing joy to Ottawa residents along a local trail. Your Morning Ottawa starts right now. Good morning, everybody, and happy Wednesday. Thanks for joining us. I'm Will Aiello.
I'm Melissa Lamb. Rosie is away for today.
And I love that we're going to begin with some happy news. You know, I know that you and I were talking yesterday. We've been watching a lot of Winter Olympics.
Yes.
This year, we kind of have little debriefs each and every morning where did you watch this and every little part. And Canada doing good right now.
Oh, yeah. We had a good day yesterday, so hopefully it can continue into today.
Yeah, I think so. Men's hockey playing at 10:42. A lot of eyes on that. But we're going to begin with a golden moment for some Ottawa and Quebec-based speed skaters, taking Canada's third gold medal of these Winter Olympic Games in the women's speed skating team pursuit race. Eruption, as you would imagine. This was the scene at a watch party for the race at the Colonel By Secondary School, where team member Isabel Weideman was once a student as Canada took the lead. This is the second gold medal win for this team. Weideman and her teammates Valerie Malte and Ivani Blondet also won gold in 2022 in Beijing. This is the second medal of the Milan Winter Olympics for Malte, who won bronze in the women's 3,000 meters. Here's a look at what's coming up a little bit later on this morning. Jam-packed schedule. Freestyle skiing women's aerials finals at 8 o'clock. Canada versus Czechia quarterfinal men's hockey. They play at 10:40 this morning. And speed skating short track relay. Women's 3,000 meter final at 3 p.m. Men's 500 meter at 3:32.
A 73-year-old Ottawa man will spend the next 2 years under house arrest after killing his ailing husband nearly 4 years ago. Philip Hebert and his husband Richard Rutherford had been together for more than 40 years, and their relationship was described as nearly perfect. Rutherford, a former principal and dancer with the Royal Winnipeg Ballet, was dying from cancer. After years of suffering and deteriorating health, Hebert had made a murder-suicide pact with Rutherford. Hebert smothered his husband to death the night of April 15, 2022, but he was unable to take his own life. The Crown had sought 6 years in prison for the killing. The defense asked for 2 years following a guilty plea. The judge decided that 2 years less a day of house arrest was appropriate.
Justice Phillips said it very, very well. There's no sentence that can ever come close to that sentence. Phil will be serving a life sentence without his partner, and that's the reality of this case.
Justice Kevin Phillips said jail time did not serve the interests of justice, as Hebert is not a danger to the public and he gained nothing from the crime. Hebert will be allowed to leave his home for 3 hours each week for medical appointments and to run errands. And we want to remind you that the Distress Center of Ottawa is there for you 24/7. If you are struggling with your mental health, you can call them anytime at 613-238-3311.
Vorlage Ski Hill reopened Tuesday after a fatal incident involving a child in a chairlift. A 13-year-old girl died at Chio on Sunday after a piece of her clothing got caught in the lift last week. The Quebec agency responsible for inspecting ski lifts says it conducted an investigation and identified non-conformities with the lift. It says Vorlage has since addressed those issues, allowing all 4 lifts to reopen today. There are concerns that a planned tram service connecting Ottawa and Gatineau might be in jeopardy. Gatineau's mayor says the Quebec government is shifting responsibility of the project from the city to a provincial transit infrastructure department. The plan was to have a tram system connect Aylmer to downtown Gatineau and Gatineau to Ottawa. But with a shift in responsibility, Gatineau's mayor says she is no longer confident that cash flow will be the same.
The big issue with that is also that the fact that they defund the project. So we have received the mandate to dismantle le bureau de projet and to terminate the contract in which we're currently involved with private enterprise.
More than $160 million have been approved and earmarked for the planning stages. Now Gatineau's mayor says that they'll have to assess the cost of terminating contracts.
Federal public sector unions say the latest return to office mandate will disproportionately impact women and working parents. Some others say there aren't enough childcare spaces, and returning to the office full time means they may have to quit their jobs. Brooklyn Holmes is among thousands affected by workforce reductions, and she has until the end of March to decide if she wants to take part in the voluntary departure program. At the same time, if she returns, she'll be expected to be in the office 4 days a week starting in July under the latest return to office mandate. Her oldest starts kindergarten in the fall, and at the start of the school year, the Ottawa Carleton District School Board reported more than 1,000 kids on wait lists for extended day programs. Daycare for her youngest is no different. Operators say wait lists have only grown under the $10 a day daycare childcare program, all of which is creating uncertainty for working parents.
I think women disproportionately bear the cost of these kind of policies, so it would be disappointing if the policies resulted in women leaving the workforce in large numbers.
The wait lists were already long, and for folks to find care on such short notice is now just going to add an extra burden to the system, and everyone's going to have more trouble finding childcare to meet the need of this new policy.
In a statement to CTV News, the Canadian Association of Professional Employees says the city is already short 7,000 daycare spots, adding the decision will ultimately impact women who still face disproportionately responsibilities when it comes to childcare and domestic labor.
At least 2 homes have been damaged by a fire in Ottawa's West End. Firefighters say the call came in just before 2 p.m. reporting a single-family home engulfed in flames on Pelham Crescent near Perth Street. When crews arrived, they could see the fire had spread beyond the walls of the home.
When firefighters arrived on scene, the house that had originally caught fire had spread to the neighbor's house. It became a priority to protect the other houses in the area. All of those were protected by firefighters, and the fire was contained to the 2 houses that were on fire when they arrived.
Paramedics say that a man was taken to hospital for smoke inhalation, and the cause of the fire remains under investigation.
A developer wants to expand the city's urban boundary, but the proposal is seeing some pushback. Claridge Homes has submitted an application to build 2,300 homes in Stittsville. The development would be located on Fluellen and Fernbank roads outside of the current urban boundary. Glenn Gower, the councillor for the area, says he does not support the proposal. He says the homes would be isolated with poor access to transit, schools, and retail. City staff review the application and bring a recommendation to a city committee at a later date.
Well, it's not the result Atletico Ottawa was hoping for in the first round of the CONCACAF Champions Cup.
Aguilar on the other side of a great pass, looking for Happy Bullis, stopped on the line.
Atletico coming up short against Nashville SC last night in Hamilton, the reigning CPL champs, hoping for an equalizer late in the game, but to no avail.
Nashville will take the W 2-0. Second leg of the series moves to Nashville on February 24th. The winner moving on to the round of 16. I know that when we were speaking with some of the players after the brilliant Canadian game that was played, they were just super excited that they even had an opportunity to take part in this championship in a very close game.
Oh, yeah. Very, very close. And I mean, you know, with all due respect, Nashville, you've probably been outside playing soccer the whole lengths of most of the winter.
Yeah.
You know, they don't get a lot of snow, unlike us here. Our field's covered in snow. So, you know, it's not the same practicing inside it as it is outside.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a change when you're used to playing in the frigid temperatures with a little bit of snow, where you have to have a colored ball to make sure you can see it during the conditions, as opposed to what's going on
Still
there.
another game, so still some hope left.
That's right. We're cheering for them for sure.
Yes. And our forecast today, we're going to see more of what we saw yesterday, some sunshine and mild conditions. Not quite as mild as yesterday. We won't be above that freezing mark, but still above average. We are sitting at -5 here in the city to start off your morning, so slightly colder than it was yesterday at this hour. With the wind chill, it feels closer to -9 in Ottawa, -10 in the Valley, -5 currently. In Kingston, it feels like -2 out in Brockville. So in our skies today, we will see clear skies this morning with sunshine on the way into the afternoon. So areas down along the GTA dealing with some winter weather, some snow, some freezing rain to the areas south of that. But for us here in Ottawa, you'll see this system. It just kind of stays to the south of us and stays a little bit further west of us as well. So we won't have to worry about seeing some winter weather in the forecast for today. But we have more of it on the way as we head towards the end of the work week. So enjoy the sunshine for your Wednesday, and your Thursday will be nice and sunny and mild. -1 is your daytime high today. So still a little bit above seasonal in through your afternoon. 0 in Cornwall, -2 for Bancroft, as well as out in the valley for this afternoon. -2 as well in Kitigan-Zibi. 1 is the high over in Gatineau. So over the next couple of days, we will see a shift in temperatures next week. It's going to get a little bit colder, so this is your warning that the warm weather will not last right through until spring. -1 for today, -9 is the overnight low, but beautiful sunny days in the forecast today through tomorrow. 0 is the high as we head into Thursday. Friday, we are expecting snow. We could see 10 centimeters of fresh snow on the way just in time for the ski hills. It will mainly start late in the day on Friday and continue in through your overnight and early in the morning hours on Saturday. Temperatures still staying mild from Friday in through the weekend forecast. It is going to look a little bit snowy, but the next week, yes, temperatures taking a bit of a shift. It will be back to cold. -6 is the high for Monday, -8 as we head into Tuesday, and those overnight lows into the -20s. On your drive-in, still smooth sailing so far on all your major routes, and we are collision-free, so nothing major to report so far on your drive-in. Now let's check out your TSN must-see moment.
Hello, everyone. Glenn Sheeler inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Tuesday. And for that, we're going across the pond. Little footy action. Just over 4 minutes into the second half, Vinicius Jr. steps just inside the box, unleashes an absolute missile here into the far corner. Just a brilliant strike from the 25-year-old Brazilian. The only goal in Real Madrid's first leg victory over Benfica in Champions League. A game otherwise marred, though, by alleged racist abuse against Vini Jr. by both Benfica fans and players. His goal, though, was the difference, and that is your must-see moment. And Canada's quest for gold, well, in men's hockey, it continues today. Yes, quarterfinal clash, Canada against Czechia. Remember, Canada blanked the Czechs 5-0 in the preliminary round of play. Coverage for that begins 10:30 a.m. Eastern on CBC and TSN1. That's all for now, everyone. Have a great day.
All right, coming up next on Your Morning Ottawa.
People tell me it makes them smile, so that makes me smile.
I mean, how could you not be intrigued here? Meet the woman known as the Bear Lady, whose sculptures are bringing smiles to everyone on a local winter trail. Great story coming up. We'll take a peek outside through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam, and temperatures will be mild once again with some sunshine to look forward to on your Wednesday. It is 6:12. We'll be right back. Welcome back and happy Wednesday, everybody. Melissa letting us know today is filled with some sunshine. Temperatures not as mild as we saw yesterday, but it's still going to be an oh so nice. -2 degrees will be our daytime high. A little bit cooler this morning, but nothing to be frigid about. As we look ahead to the weekend forecast, will it stay the same? Melissa will provide us with the full details coming up. Let's take a look at your road conditions on this Wednesday morning commute. Nothing major to report. Everything is smooth sailing at this time. With the weather forecast that's coming through in certain areas, seeing some mixed precipitation and just missing us here in Ottawa, we are expecting a smooth sail on your morning commute. A trail near the Ottawa River is home to more than a dozen bears, but don't worry, these aren't actually real bears. They are sculpted from snow for now. CTV's Peter Sperling introduces us to the Bear Lady, the artist behind the creations.
Maggie Glossop's creations spread joy.
People tell me it makes them smile, so that makes me smile.
She sculpts bears out of snow.
I build them because I enjoy building, and also because people seem to really like them.
Their home in the Kitchissippi Woods near the Ottawa River.
I started building snow bears here about 8 or 9 years ago, and every year when the snow conditions are right, I come back and build bears. Good morning.
A hit with anyone walking, snowshoeing, or skiing along the Kitchissippi Winter Trail.
It's a highlight, and I always come in this part of the trail because they're so cute and so sweet, and I appreciate it. Puts a smile on my face every single time.
And it looks so cool. There are a total of 15 bears, and some people using this trail have even made it a treasure hunt to find all of them.
I saw those 3, and then there were some around the corner, and then these ones now, but no, I haven't seen 15, I don't think, so.
Are you going to keep an eye
Maybe there's
out?
more, yeah, for sure.
Some are up in the trees, others on tree stumps, and these two on a bench. Sculpting the bears requires slightly warmer temperatures.
When it gets close to 0, the snow gets sticky, and then I can build them.
Parts of their faces made using brown wool. For 78-year-old Glossop, who lives nearby, it's a chance to be outside.
It's my happy place, so instead of signing up for a gym to go and get exercise, I'm over in the woods almost every day.
And when it gets too warm, the bears hibernate until next year.
People ask me, but don't you get really sad when they melt away? And I say, no, they're I come back and do it again next year, and it's great.
Peter Sperling, CTV News.
Such a great idea, and I'm sure the kiddos that walk by love it, maybe scared at first and then realize it's not real. Well, coming up next on Your Morning Ottawa, our Winter Games Week continues today. We are diving into the local speed skating scene, especially with some W's that Canada has won here at the Winter Olympics. We are taking your comments today on which Winter Olympic sport that you'd try if you had the chance. Any sport, you let us know. Maybe you want to go down, maybe you want a skeleton, maybe you want to play some hockey, speed skate, you let us know, and maybe give us some reasons why that's the sport that you're choosing to try. Before we get there, we're going to head outside through our Skycam on George Street, and nothing major to report on the weather front. It's going to be a pretty calm day. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
What makes your community special? Join us next week for Your Neighborhood, showcasing the people and places that make the National Capital Region shine.
Your Neighborhood on CTV Your Morning Ottawa. Brought to you in part by the Clemo. Choose the Clemo and start living your life your way.
Far side pass, and it's an early shot. He scores!
All right, well, it has been a very exciting Winter Games so far with more excitement ahead for Team Canada. So today on the show, we are asking for your comments on what Winter Games sport would you like to try if you could do it? We've been talking about this a lot. Let us know your thoughts. Email us at yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca. So I'm curious to see which one you would choose and why, because it's like, which one would you just want to try it, or which one would you want to be like really good at if you could be at the games level?
It's so hard. I mean, obviously my first love was always figure skating, growing up a competitive figure skater. So if I was good enough to make it to, you know, the Olympics level, then yes, I would want to do figure skating. However, I also think snowboarding would be pretty cool to be like, a champion snowboarder and be able to flip and tricks, and watching them do it, because I snowboard, but I'm a very casual, blue square snowboarder.
Yeah.
Don't try to risk anything. The one time I went off a rail when I was a bit younger, I broke my nose. So that was the last attempt
So
at
the
that.
dream's still alive.
The dream's still alive. And I mean, it was a baby rail. It was like a fun box, and I just hit an edge and fell on my face and broke my nose, and I ate it with my goggles. And I'm like, that's over. That dream is just gonna sink down underneath the snow. We're not gonna attempt that again. So if I was really good and could do it, I think it would be cool. But those injuries and those bails are hard.
Yeah, and you see the speed that they're taking off of, right? And the depth that they're landing. It's like when you fall,
they're
you fall
going
hard.
in backwards, like they're riding switch. I'm like, what? I could barely go forward.
It is wild.
It is,
and it's funny because I would probably have to stick to my roots. The first answer I would say would be playing on Team Canada in the hockey at the Olympics would be the biggest dream. Growing up playing hockey my whole life, that's always the big dream, and it is for so many. You see Connor McDavid, Sidney Crosby, some of their biggest moments come on that stage. Yeah. So I would choose hockey first at the Olympics, but then if we were outside of that, because it's such an obvious choice for me, I am choosing the exact same one that you would, and I would go big air men's snowboarding, because I've snowboarded my whole life. I've done some tricks and I've done some things, but when you look at the the ability of some of
Yeah.
these athletes, what they're able to do with the confidence, with knowing what you're doing is so amazing. And then the percentage of what they can land these tricks at a stage like that, it is mesmerizing. I wish so badly that I was able to do even a percent of what they're able to do snowboarding, because I just think it's so cool.
Oh my goodness. We're like right on the same page with skating and then snowboarding.
Yeah, it's just
I
like
love
that.
Yeah. But without breaking their nose. And like, they're just not afraid if it happens. You know, where for me, I was like, oh, don't try that again.
No fear, and that you can see it. They actually have no fear.
Yes, absolutely. So we want your comments on this. What winter game sport would you like to try? Send your comments to us at yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca. And coming up on Your Morning Ottawa, we are introducing you to the Ottawa Pacers Speed Skating Club to learn more about how you can get involved with speed skating in the capital. We'll be right back. Dale.
The National Capital Region is jam-packed with incredible experiences you don't want to miss. Hey, I'm Tanea Taylor, your iHeartRadio Weekender, powered by Barrhaven Ford. Get the inside scoop on all the biggest and best events every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on CTV, Move 100, Pure Country 94, TSN 1200, and News Talk 580 CFRA. iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barrhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford dealership, and Ontario's #1 Ford EV dealer.
Saving lives is what they do. February is Heart Month, and together we can support the University of Ottawa Heart Institute in providing world-class cardiac care. For almost 50 years, our community has played a critical role in advancing the Institute's life-saving work. Your donation will support groundbreaking research, innovative patient care, education, and prevention. To learn more, visit FebruaryIsHeartMonth.ca.
Proudly sponsored by CTV.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us this morning on Your Morning Ottawa. I am Melissa Lamb.
I'm Will Aiello. Rosie is off today, and you know what? We're starting our 6:30 newscast with some good news.
Yes, I love that.
And we like that, especially in the sporting world. There's lots to look forward to coming up through the day, which we'll get to. But we're beginning with a golden moment for some Ottawa and Quebec-based speed skaters, taking Canada's third gold medal of these Winter Olympic Games in the women's speed skating team pursuit race. So good, we had to play it twice. This was the scene at a watch party for the race at the Colonel By Secondary School, where team member Isabel Weideman was once a student as Canada took the lead. This is the second gold medal win for the squad as well. Weideman and her teammates, Valerie Malte and Yvonne Blondin, also won the gold medal in 2022 in Beijing. This is the second medal of the Milan Winter Olympics for Malte, who won bronze in the women's 3,000 meters. All right, let's take a look at what's coming up this morning. We got freestyle skiing women's aerials finals at 8 a.m. and it has been unreal to watch. Men's hockey team, Canada versus Czechia quarterfinal. That is at 10:40 this morning. And speed skating short track relay, women's 3,000 meter final at 3 p.m., men's 500 meter at 3:32.
A 73-year-old Ottawa man will spend the next 2 years under house arrest after killing his ailing husband nearly 4 years ago. Philip Hebert and his husband Richard Rutherford had been together for more than 40 years, and their relationship was described as nearly perfect. Rutherford, a former principal dancer with the Royal Winnipeg Ballet, was dying from cancer. After years of suffering and deteriorating health, Hebert had made a murder-suicide pact with Rutherford. Hebert smothered his husband to death the night of April 15, 2022, but he was unable to take his own life. The Crown had sought 6 years in prison for the killing. The defense asked for 2 years following a guilty plea. The judge decided that 2 years less a day of house arrest was appropriate.
Justice Phillips said it very, very well. There's no sentence that can ever come close to that sentence. Phil will be serving a life sentence without his partner, and that's the reality of this case.
Justice Kevin Phillips said jail time did not serve the interest of justice, as Hebert is not a danger to the public and he gained nothing from the crime. Hebert will be allowed to leave his home for 3 hours each week for medical appointments and to run some errands. And we want to remind you that the Distress Center of Ottawa is there for you 24/7 if you are struggling with your mental health. You can call them anytime at 613-238-3311.
Vorlar Ski Hill reopened Tuesday after a fatal incident involving a child in a chairlift. A 13-year-old girl died at Chio on Sunday after a piece of her clothing got caught in the lift last week. The Quebec agency responsible for inspecting ski lifts says that it conducted an investigation and identified non-conformities with the lift. It says Vorlar has since addressed those issues, allowing all 4 lifts to reopen today. There are concerns that a planned tram service connecting Ottawa and Gatineau may be in jeopardy. Gatineau's mayor says the Quebec government is shifting responsibility of the project from the city to a provincial transit infrastructure department. The plan was to have a tram system connect Aylmer to downtown, Gatineau, and Gatineau to Ottawa. But with the shift in responsibility, Gatineau's mayor says that she is no longer confident the cash flow will be the same.
The big issue with that is also that the fact that they defund the project. So we have received the mandate to dismantle le bureau de projet and to terminate the contract in which we're currently involved with private enterprise.
More than $160 million have been approved for and earmarked for the planning stages. But now Gatineau's mayor says that they'll have to assess the cost of terminating contracts.
Federal public sector unions say the latest return to office mandate will disproportionately impact women and working parents. Some others say there aren't enough childcare spaces, and returning to the office full-time means they may have to quit their jobs. Brooklyn Holmes is among thousands affected by workforce reductions, and she has until the end of March to decide if she wants to take part in the voluntary departure program. At the same time, if she returns, she will be expected to be in the office 4 days a week. Starting in July, under the latest return to office mandate, her oldest starts kindergarten in the fall, and the start of the school year, the Ottawa Carleton District School Board reported more than 1,000 kids on wait lists for extended day programs. Daycare for her youngest is no different. Operators say wait lists have only grown under the $10 a day daycare childcare program, all of which is creating uncertainty for working parents.
I think women disproportionately bear the cost of these kind of policies, so it would be disappointing if the policies resulted in women leaving the workforce in large numbers.
The wait lists were already long, and for folks to find care on such short notice is now just going to add an extra burden to the system, and everyone's going to have more trouble finding childcare to meet the need of this new policy.
In a statement to CTV News, the Canadian Association of Professional Employees says the city is already short 7,000 daycare spots, adding the decision will ultimately impact women who still face disproportionately responsibilities when it comes to childcare and domestic labor.
At least 2 homes have been damaged by a fire in Ottawa's West End. Troubling video you see there. Firefighters say the call came in just before 2 p.m. reporting a single-family home engulfed in flames on Pelham Crescent near Perth Street. When crews arrived, they could see the fire had spread beyond the walls of the home.
When firefighters arrived on scene, the house that had originally caught fire had spread to the neighbor's house. It became a priority to protect the other houses in the area. All of those were protected by firefighters, and the fire was contained to the 2 houses that were on fire when they arrived.
Paramedics say that a man was taken to hospital for smoke inhalation. The cause of the fire remains under investigation.
A developer wants to expand the city's urban boundary, but the proposal is seeing some pushback. Claridge Homes has submitted an application to build 2,300 homes in Stittsville. The development would be located in Fluellen and Fernbank roads outside of the current urban boundary. Glenn Gower, the councillor for the area, says he does not support the proposal. He says the homes would be isolated with poor access to transit, schools, and retail. City staff will review the application and bring a recommendation to a city committee at a later date.
Well, the City of Ottawa celebrated Heritage Day at City Hall Tuesday.
It's an opportunity to look back at the history of Ottawa, even beyond 200 years. It's a moment for reflection and really just encouraging citizens and residents of Ottawa to get out and explore their local heritage sites and learn more about Ottawa.
This year's theme was Voices of a City, celebrating 2 centuries of collective histories and local heroes in Ottawa.
More than 50 local historical societies, museums, and heritage organizations took part. in the public event. And I always find these so fascinating. We're going to find out a little bit later on in a couple of days this week, the RCMP, and they have an open house going on Saturday.
Fun.
And when you get to look at the heritage of the city and find out so many cool things that happened here, it takes you down that nostalgia route. And then I was even reminded, like, it wasn't that long ago some of these amazing societies were brought here. So it's super interesting.
One of our favorite museums to visit with the kids is the Cumberland Heritage Museum, where it does give you a lot of our history and stuff, and it's really fascinating and just really interesting to see, especially from my kids who are in a, born into a technology world, what life was like before technology was around. They really were like, this is how you made books, because there's like a printing machine, there's no cell phones, there's no TVs.
Something as simple as wired headphones.
Right, exactly.
It is wild. It's cool to get them a little bit more, gain them some knowledge on what was in the past.
On how we lived back in the day.
That's right. Yeah, we say that back in the day.
Our forecast for today will be clear this morning, sunny and mild into the afternoon. And yes, the milder temperatures continue into the weekend, but we will see a shift. Cold weather on its way, so just keep that in mind. Not today, though. -5 to start off your morning, so fairly decent temperature-wise to start your day off. -7 out in the valley with that wind chill this hour. It does feel closer to -9 here in Ottawa. It feels like -10 out in the valley. It will be nice and clear. We will see a few clouds into the afternoon. Mix of sun and cloud for us today. However, lots of sunshine to enjoy on your Wednesday. We are expecting some snow, but not for us. GTA area, they have a winter storm. They could see some snow, some freezing rain. So if you are headed down that way, keep in mind they do have a winter storm that they are expecting to hit later on this morning. It will be a little bit messy, but for us here in Ottawa, you'll see it just stays south of us, so we don't have to worry about any winter weather on the way for today, but we do have some in the 7-day forecast. It will be nice and clear tomorrow, and we will see more sunshine on the way in through Thursday. Temperatures today reaching a high of -1, so a little bit above average. Normal for this time of the year is around -3 degrees. It's -2 for your daytime high in the valley, as well as in Bancroft for today, and Petawawa, Kittig, and Zibi. 1 is the high out in Gatineau. Over the next couple of days, we will see an end to all this mild weather next week, but we have a couple of days to enjoy still. -9 is the overnight low tonight. More sunshine for tomorrow, slightly warmer with a high of 0, -3 for Friday. We are expecting some snow. While temperatures will stay mild, snow on the way. We could see 10 centimeters late in the day on Friday. So Friday evening into your overnight, that's when we're expecting the snow throughout the early morning hours on Saturday as well. A few more snowflakes and flurries in the forecast Saturday and through Sunday. -2 is the high, and then we'll see that shift in temperatures as we head into Monday. Much colder day in the forecast, -6, -8 as we head into next week.
Weather brought to you by Manotick Place Retirement Community, a community you can call home.
And on your drive in this morning, still nothing major to report. Traffic is looking fairly decent out there on your roads. We are collision free this hour on your drive in, and things are looking pretty much smooth sailing on all your major routes this hour.
Traffic brought to you by Presler Injury Lawyers, 1-800-JUSTICE.
Still to come on your morning, Ottawa.
The battery exploded and caused a fire in the laundry room.
A warning about an increase in fires sparked by something found in many household items. Lithium-ion batteries. We'll have more on the common causes and what you can do to prevent those fires coming up in our program. Here's a lot of luck through our sky cam, and sunshine not there quite yet, but it is on the way. Happy Wednesday, everybody. It is 6:40. We will greet you in 2 minutes and 32 seconds. Welcome back, everybody. Here are the big stories happening today on Your Morning Ottawa. Canadian speed skaters taking home a gold medal in Milan after winning the team pursuit race. Love to see those stats climb. There are concerns about the future of a planned interprovincial tramway, as Gatineau's mayor suggests funding could be up in the air. And a developer wants to expand the city's urban boundary, but the proposal is seeing some pushback. Melissa, it was a nice day yesterday. We got more of that to come.
More of that sunshine on the way. A little bit colder for today, but still above seasonal. -1 is your daytime high. And yes, a mix of sun and cloud for us this afternoon. Pure sunshine for Thursday and another mild one with a high of 0. Then as we head into Friday, we're expecting snow on the way. Some flurries in the afternoon, periods of snow at night. We could see 10 centimeters through the evening hours overnight. -3 is your daytime high. Still no major issues on your roads this hour. Traffic is looking fairly decent. Just starting to see a bit of volume building for now on your major routes, but no collisions to report this hour.
Fire services in Ontario are warning about an increase in the number of lithium-ion battery fires, and it appears that many of them are starting in e-bikes and e-scooters. CTV's Pat Ford has the details.
We've done stories on lithium-ion battery fires involving toy cars, smartphones on airplanes, and e-bikes in the subway system. As lithium-ion batteries are being used in more devices, more fires are happening. Aviva Insurance just issued a warning.
When they do overheat, they smoke, they can explode, and the fires burn very, very hot and spread very, very quickly.
The insurance company says there has been a 162% increase in this type of fire over the past 2 years. Toronto Fire Services says there were 90 lithium-ion battery fires last year, and there were 11 in January.
We're absolutely seeing an increase year over year.
Almost half of the fires so far this year have been connected to micro-mobility devices, e-bikes, and e-scooters.
We often see users tampering with batteries to try to increase the length of power, the duration of the battery, and also the speed at which the e-bike or e-hoverboard scooter can actually travel at.
We have seen a rise in lithium-ion battery fires.
York Region says while the batteries are in many devices in the home, most fires have been caused by items charging inside garages.
80% of those fires have been residential garage fires involving batteries.
When lithium-ion batteries fail, they may smoke, hiss, and expand. Once they enter something called thermal runaway, they can explode, releasing toxic smoke and chemicals, and reach temperatures of 400 degrees Celsius. To avoid battery fires, always follow the manufacturer's instructions, only use batteries designed for the device, and charging cords that came with the product. Store batteries away from flammable items and avoid excessive charging. You should never tamper with a battery. Don't allow them to charge overnight. An old or damaged battery should be disposed of at municipal recycling centers. Pat Foran, CTV News.
Well, it has been a very exciting winter game so far, with more excitement ahead for Team Canada. So on today's show, we are asking what winter game sport would you like to try? And I'm very curious to see what our viewers had to say.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we're going to start off with Darlene, and she says, several years ago, my husband and I tried the bobsled in Lake Placid. It was awesome. Need for speed, Darlene. Wow, those bobsleds go very quick.
That's a fun couple sport to try, too, right? You got to really trust each other. Hey, sweetie, we're going down this together.
And it doesn't look like it's a smooth ride. Like, it looks bumpy and kind of, yeah.
I love that.
Good for you,
choice.
Darlene.
Luke says, if I could, it would be men's curling. The number one reason is because I would not fit into the one-piece suits used in speed skating. LOL. I'm sure after curling, they all go out for beer and wings. Okay, but here's the thing. I know that you might think, I'm choosing curling because of this, but the curling in general, let alone at the Olympics, is so exciting to watch.
It is.
And it takes so much skill. Like, you see some of those shots that they make. Oof. It is amazing. So, Luke, I'm with you, buddy.
Absolutely. Well, Elaine says, I snowboard, but I would love to downhill ski. Do downhill skiing. I seem to have more control over the board. I do winter when I have to. I'm with you, Elaine.
Yeah,
I do winter when I have to.
Yeah, and the skiing would be really cool too. And you see, like, that's such a different sport, skiing compared to snowboarding too. So when you can try both of them, it could be really fun.
Yeah, and they are so different. Even though you think like, oh, skiing, snowboarding, it's so similar. It's such a different feeling going down straight on and two skis and then sideways on a board.
Yeah, you can't pizza French fry on the snowboard.
No, you can't. Absolutely not. So let's keep the conversation going. We are asking you, what winter game sport would you like to try? Send your comments to us at yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca. And coming up next on Your Morning Ottawa, we are getting a new look at the upcoming Mandalorian film. That's just ahead and more. Here's a live look from our sky cam this morning, and it's so nice to see it's not dark out at 6:49 a.m. because the sun is waking up at 7 a.m. now. Good morning, Ottawa. Temps right now sitting at -5. It's time now for your morning fix, and Courtney Cox has always marched to the beat of her own drum. The Friends star has been sharing her drum skills on social media. Her latest video is a cover of Olivia Dean's The Man I Need. She's covered Nirvana, Fleetwood Mac, and Justin Bieber. Courtney Cox isn't just busy behind her kit, she'll also be reprising her role as Gail Weathers in Scream 7, which hits theaters next Friday. Scream 7!
Oh my goodness.
Wild, and she has some skill.
Monica Geller on the drum set coming to a show near you.
I love when we see, actors or people when they have this like hidden talent beyond what we normally used to seeing them do.
Yeah,
So,
well, it just shows like their personality a little bit more like outside of what they do, and especially in the social media digital world right now.
Absolutely. You can share it.
You can share it, yeah.
I love it. Well, Pedro Pascal is returning to a galaxy far, far away.
Hey, never touch the buttons.
A trailer has been released for Star Wars' latest adventure, Mandalorian and Grogu. Pascal is returning from the television series as the Mandalorian. Jeremy Allen White is voicing a member of the Hutt family. The film is directed and co-written by Jon Favreau, who created the original series. It hits theaters May 22nd.
All right, I'll out myself, and this may lose some viewers or gain some viewers, but I have still never seen any full Star Wars film, show. I've seen half of Attack of the Clones when we were like on our way to a hockey tournament, I think, when I was 12. So I've got no idea, but it does look like even these graphics and everything, it looks unreal. I thought it was a Super Bowl commercial at first, and like Doritos or something was going to get involved. And then it was like, coming new. Like, okay, it's just a new show coming out.
Well, it looks good. I'm sure many fans will be very excited to watch it. And the first solar eclipse of the year happened yesterday, and if you missed it, don't worry, pretty much the whole world did. It created a so-called ring of fire. That's when the moon passes between the Earth and the sun. But because the moon is at a greater distance right now, it did not cover all of the sun. The only place that the full solar eclipse was visible was in Antarctica. But some places in the southern hemisphere were treated to a partial eclipse in which it looks like a bite has been taken out of the sun. So fascinating, right? When you get to see these kinds of things in our solar system.
It's so cool, and I mean, I guess only if you're in Antarctica. Cool. So being in Antarctica does have its advantages
right? Exactly.
All right, here's a look at what's coming up next on our show. We hear from Bob Blondin, the father of Ivani, who won gold medal yesterday. I can't wait to see proud dad to see what he has to say. Plus, are the local gold medalists inspiring you to try speed skating? We introduce you to the Ottawa Pacers Speed Skating Club. And of course, it is time to page Dr. Paul with March break just around the corner. We tell you more about what you need to know about traveling with your small kids. Lots to come on our program, and the sunshine poking out. How nice is it to see the sunshine before 7 a.m. around the 7 a.m. mark now?
I love it.
Centennial Glass Skycam showing us the brightness on your Wednesday. We'll be right back. It is 6:56. It's Wednesday, February 18th. A golden moment for speed skaters right here from Ottawa, who won the top prize in the Team Pursuit speed skating event.
Concerns that plans for an interprovincial tramway might go off the rails as funding has been put in jeopardy.
And the Ottawa Humane Society urgently needs volunteers to help foster some of its animals. Your Morning Ottawa continues right now. Good morning, everyone, and happy Wednesday. Thanks for joining us. I'm Will Aiello.
I'm Melissa Lamb, and Rosie is away for today.
I'm really excited because we're about to get into our top story, which has to do with the Winter Olympic Games, and you're going to be speaking with a very proud father coming up shortly.
Absolutely. Some proud parents coming up. I can't wait for that conversation.
I love that. This is what the show is all about, and we're going to begin with a golden moment from some Ottawa and Quebec-based speed skaters taking Canada's third gold medal of these Winter Olympic Games in the women's speed skating team pursuit race. An uproar. This was the scene at a watch party for the race at the Colonel By Secondary School, where team member Isabel Weideman was once a student as Canada took the lead. This is the second gold medal win for this team. Weideman and her teammates Valerie Malte and Ivane Blondet also won gold medal in 2022 in Beijing. This is the second medal of the Milan Winter Olympics for Malte, who won bronze in the women's 3,000 meters. And if you want to keep the watch going, here's a look at what's coming up this morning. We got freestyle skiing women's aerials finals at 8 a.m., so just under an hour. It's been so exciting so far. Canada and Czechia men's quarterfinal hockey at 10:40 this morning. Sid the Kid and Connor McDavid taking on that championship. Speed skating short track relay, women's 3,000 meter final. That's at 3 p.m. and then men's shortly after 500 meter.
A 73-year-old Ottawa man will spend the next 2 years under house arrest after killing his ailing husband nearly 4 years ago. Philip Hebert and his husband Richard Rutherford had been together for more than 40 years, and their relationship was described as nearly perfect. Rutherford, a former principal dancer with the Royal Winnipeg Ballet, was dying from cancer. After years of suffering and deteriorating health, Hebert made a murder-suicide pact with Rutherford. Hebert smothered his husband to death the night of April 15, 2022, but he was unable to take his own life. The Crown had sought 6 years in prison for the killing. The defense asked for 2 years following a guilty plea. The judge decided that 2 years less a day of house arrest was appropriate.
Justice Phillips said it very, very well. There's no sentence that can ever come close to that sentence. Phil will be serving a life sentence without his partner, and that's the reality of this case.
Justice Kevin Phillips said jail time did not serve the interest of justice, as Hebert is not a danger to the public and he gained nothing from the crime. Hebert will be allowed to leave his home for 3 hours each week for medical appointments and to run errands. And we want to remind you that the Distress Center of Ottawa is there for you 24/7 if you are struggling with your mental health. You can call them at any time, 613-238-3311.
Vorlage Ski Hill reopened Tuesday after a fatal incident involving a child in a chairlift. A 13-year-old girl died at CHIO on Sunday after a piece of her clothing got caught in the lift last week. The Quebec agency responsible for inspecting ski lifts says that it conducted an investigation and identified non-conformities with the lift. It says Vorlage has addressed those issues, allowing all 4 lifts to reopen. There are concerns that a planned tram service connecting Ottawa and Gatineau may be in jeopardy. Gatineau's mayor says the Quebec government is shifting responsibility of the project from the city to a provincial transit infrastructure department. The plan was to have a tram system connect Aylmer to downtown Gatineau and Gatineau to Ottawa. But with the shift in responsibility, Gatineau's mayor says she is no longer confident the cash flow will be the same.
The big issue with that is also that the fact that they defund the project. So we have received the mandate to dismantle le bureau de projet and to terminate the contract in which we're currently involved with private enterprise.
More than $160 million had been approved and earmarked for the planning stages. Now Gatineau's mayor says they'll have to assess the cost of terminating contracts.
Federal public sector unions say the latest return to office mandate will disproportionately impact women and working parents. Some others say there aren't enough childcare spaces and returning to the office full-time means they may have to quit their jobs. Brooklyn Holmes is among thousands affected by workforce reductions, and she has until the end of March to decide if she wants to take part in the voluntary departure program. At the same time, if she returns, she'll be expected to be in the office 4 days a week, starting in July under the latest return to office mandate. Her oldest starts kindergarten in the fall, and the start of the school year, the Ottawa Carleton District School Board reported more than 1,000 kids on wait lists for extended day programs. Daycare for her youngest is no different. Operators say wait lists have only grown under the $10 a day childcare program. all of which is creating uncertainty for working parents.
I think women disproportionately bear the cost of these kind of policies. So it would be disappointing if the policies resulted in women leaving the workforce in large numbers.
The wait lists were already long, and for folks to find care on such short notice is now just going to add an extra burden to the system, and everyone's going to have more trouble finding childcare to meet the need of this new policy.
In a statement to CTV News, the Canadian Association of Professional Employees says the city is already short 7,000 daycare spots, adding the decision will ultimately impact women who still face disproportionate responsibilities when it comes to childcare and domestic labor.
At least 2 homes have been damaged by a fire in Ottawa's West End. Firefighters say the call came in just before 2 p.m. reporting a single-family home engulfed in flames on Pelham Crescent near Perth Street. When crews arrived, they could see the fire had spread beyond the walls of the home.
When firefighters arrived on scene, the house that had originally caught fire had spread to the neighbor's house. It became a priority to protect the other houses in the area. All of those were protected by firefighters, and the fire was contained to the 2 houses that were on fire when they arrived.
Paramedics say that a man was taken to hospital for smoke inhalation. The cause of the fire remains under investigation.
A developer wants to expand the city's urban boundary, but the proposal is seeing some pushback. Claridge Homes has submitted an application to build 2,300 homes in Stittsville. The development would be located on Fluellen and Fernbank roads outside of the current urban boundary. Glenn Gower, the councillor for the area, says he does not support the proposal. He says the homes would be isolated with poor access to transit, schools, and retail. City staff will review the application and bring a recommendation to a city committee at a later date.
Skaters, get ready to rejoice. The Rideau Canal Skateway will reopen later this morning.
The National Capital Commission closed the Skateway Monday night to allow crews to smooth out the ice surface after a busy weekend.
The entire length will open back up at 8 o'clock this morning, along with the skate rental services, change rooms, and concession stands. The NCC says that there have been more than 785,000 visits so far this season. And I mean, Family Day weekend, I think it was like a record-breaking amount of people that were there from Saturday until the Monday. It was jam-packed, and you love to see it because we've seen so many years where the canal's been open for maybe a day or two, so
and
great to have
the start
that.
of Winterlude was really cold. The end of Winterlude ended a little bit balmy and mild, so I think everybody took advantage and got out to skate in the sunshine.
I love that. And again, that reopens one day of closing. We can handle that.
Do it today, exactly. And we do have your weather picture of the day today. Steve sent this in, and it's an old sled run on Constance Bay.
Weather picture brought to you by Box Me Up. Moving, staging, renovating, just box me up.
And of course, we want to hear from you. Send your weather pictures to us, and you can see it right here on the show. Just send us an email, weathershots@ctv.ca. Again, that's weathershots@ctv.ca. In our forecast this morning, not so bad temperature-wise. We will reach a high of -1 this afternoon, so a little bit above average, which is the high of -3.5. And of course, the sun is already up. It was up before 7 a.m., which is so great to see, and will set at 5:33 p.m. tonight. Temps still sitting at -5 here in the city. Feels like -10 with that wind chill, so a little bit cooler this morning, but that's okay because we will see sunshine today. A few clouds in through your afternoon, but we aren't expecting any winter weather. You'll see that storm that the GTA is expecting will stay south of us and to the west of us as well, so we don't have to worry about any precipitation in the forecast for this afternoon. It will be nice and sunny today in through tomorrow, and even to start off your day on Friday. For your school day forecast, -1 today, nice and sunny if you are heading off to school, and similar temperatures throughout the region. -2 for Bancroft Pembroke, 0 is your high out in the Seaway today, -2 in the Valley, 1 in Gatineau. So over the next couple of days, it will stay mild in through the weekend. 0 for tomorrow, that sunshine today, tomorrow. Then it will change, a bit cloudier to end off the work week, some snow. We are expecting 10 centimeters late in the Friday evening, in through your overnight and in through your weekend forecast as well. A few snowy days Saturday, Sunday. Then colder next week, Monday, Tuesday, highs of -6, -8.
7-day weather forecast brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aid Centers, celebrating over 80 years in family business.
Oh, you just knew that those colder temperatures were going to work their way back into the forecast, but we'll enjoy the milder temperatures while they're here. Taking a look at your roads on this Wednesday morning. Some build up eastbound on the 417 at the 416 split until Maitland. We're just cruising at about that time where we start to see the traffic build. 174 seeing some slowdowns westbound beginning at 10th line until Montreal Road. Other than that, nothing major to report for you this morning. Melissa.
The Canadian women took home gold yesterday. Speed skaters Valerie Malte, Isabelle Wademan, and Ivani Blondet have all won a gold medal in the women's team pursuit. This comes 4 years after they claimed gold in Beijing. Two of the women, Isabelle Wademan and Ivani Blondet, call Ottawa home. And here to talk to us this morning, we have the proud parents of Ivani Blondet. We have Bob and Lise. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Melissa.
And I noticed you have a little furry friend. Who else do you have with you this morning?
That's
it.
Emmy.
Emmy, oh, so sweet. Okay, well, first off, congratulations to you, proud parents of your daughter winning a gold medal. What does it feel like to know she won her second gold?
Oh, it's just fantastic. We're so proud of her. You know, she's done so well. It was, wow, we couldn't believe the race.
Yeah.
And what was it like watching the race? Tell us where you were when you watched her with all in gold.
We're very quiet. So
we stayed home.
We just watch it.
Yeah.
We don't say much.
Yeah, we're watching it in the living room. You know, sitting on the couch, quiet.
Yeah.
You know, so it was very exciting. You know, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Amazing. And have you had a chance to speak with her since after her big win?
Not yet. Only text messages.
Yes.
She was busy, and her cousins are there, and she has a lot of friends, and
Our son is there.
family
Derek.
there. Our son is there. So yeah.
And what did the text message say? How do you even say congratulations 1,000 times? Because that must just be such an incredible feeling.
Yeah.
I know it's difficult. You know. Yeah. The issue, I guess, she's been so busy with the media. She's just been, the media's been all over. So
yes,
she was tired last night, so we gave her space. And
and now we're all over you. Now we're asking you all the questions because we want to know all the answers. How did she celebrate the win? Do you know? And how do you plan to celebrate when she returns?
Oh boy, I'm not sure how she celebrated the win. I'm sure with her brother and cousins out there.
Yeah.
They probably went to a bar. I'm not sure. You know.
Her husband and his parents are there.
That's right. Her husband's there with her. So we're not sure. We'll probably find out today.
Yeah.
You know. And us, well, I don't know. I'm not sure what we're going to do. So when she gets back, probably do some kind of a little party. You know.
Yeah.
And talk about her journey and what it's like for you as parents to watch her go from a young skater to reaching her Olympic game dream.
Yeah. Well, we knew when she was younger, we knew that she could do great things with speed skating because she was winning at a young age. And I mean, she started winning medals at the age of 6. And it was her dream to go to the Olympics. So it just evolved from there. And then on the junior national team at 14, 15 years old on the national team. And it just went from there to now.
And how did she get into speed skating?
She used to do she did the Can Skate program.
Mm-hmm.
And then she saw on the other ice rink across the speed skating, and she told us, she says, that's what I want to do. She says, that's really, really what I want to do is to go fast.
Oh, I love that.
That's how it started, yeah.
She was described by a coach as being feisty. How would you describe your daughter?
Feisty.
Yeah. Full of energy.
She's a go-getter. Yeah.
And it's not just the talent on the ice. There has to be obviously mental preparation to be an athlete of this level. What is she like as a person that she's able to, handle all this pressure and just be able to perform on the ice time after time?
Oh, well, even she loves kids. She loves being with people. She off ice. She just she's so she's nice. She likes to speak to people and do all kinds of stuff off ice.
She's got 3 pets at home.
That's right. So
that keeps her busy.
That keeps her busy. She has her dog Brooke and her bird, her parrot Gizmo, and now a cat. So that keeps her busy. Every day she's out for walks. by Bow River and with the dog. And, I guess she clears her mind when she goes out there, it relaxes her. And, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for waking up early and joining us this morning, and congratulations to you both.
Oh, thank you.
Please send congratulations to Ivani for us as well.
We will.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Will.
Nice to see the proud parents and the proud pup, of course. Well, coming up on Your Morning Ottawa, are you feeling inspired by what you just heard with Gold in Canada? We tell you how you can actually try speed skating right here in Ottawa with Ottawa Pacers. That's going to be a great segment coming up. Plus, the Ottawa Humane Society urgently needs help fostering some of its animals. We'll tell you more of that just after the break. Our guests are standing by. Our guest and pup, nice and cozy in the Your Morning Ottawa Lazy Boy Lounge. Let's head outside, shall we? Through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam and the sunshine poking out ever so slightly on your Wednesday at 7:16. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. The Ottawa Humane Society is seeing a rising demand for its emergency boarding service and is urgently seeking volunteers. We got Kristen and Olivia and a furry friend joining us this morning. Good morning to the two of you.
Hi.
Who are you got with us today?
So this is Chase. He is a volunteer program dog for the Ottawa Humane Society. So he's here repping our outreach programs. And just coming for the visit.
And doing such a good job. And I think Chase just got freaked out because Chase just saw Chase on our TV screen over there. Paused for a second and has come back.
Camera shy.
Thank you guys for joining us because I think it's really important that we highlight what's going on at the organization. Can we talk about the SAFE program?
Yeah, so our SAFE program, Sheltering Animals from Emergencies, we can provide emergency boarding and sheltering for animals whose owners are in crisis. So they might be experiencing housing instability, fleeing violence, or even seeking medical treatment. And if they're not able to care for their animals, we don't want them to be separated. So they can be temporarily boarded with us or placed into temporary foster homes until they can be reunited again.
Why are you seeing a rise in these situations? Because I know it's a really difficult time for so many just trying to get by. Is that contributing to what you're seeing?
Oh, absolutely. Animal care in general, veterinary care, boarding, it's expensive and it's out of reach for a lot of folks, especially if they're dealing with a crisis. They could be isolated and not have a large support network. And really their animal is their family. And so we want to be able to keep them together and care for them for up to 4 months until they can get back on their feet, get in somewhere safe, and get their pets back home with them.
I love that so much. Let's talk about where volunteers come in, the life and blood of organizations like the Ottawa Humane Society. Can we talk about how volunteers can get involved if they're able to have their time available?
Absolutely. So you can learn all about our volunteering as a safe foster volunteer on our website, ottawahumane.ca. Olivia is one of our amazing foster volunteers for Safe Animals and also a staff member at the Humane Society. We recruit from within as well.
I love that. Well, Olivia, tell me a little bit about your experience, because obviously you have a passion and a love for animals, being a volunteer yourself. So first, tell me about what it's like for you being a volunteer.
Yeah, so I started out volunteering in a different shelter almost 3 years ago now. So I've been in shelter spaces for quite a bit with animals. I have 2 of my own resident animals. I've got a cat and a dog at home. And when I brought home my dog, I was at the Humane Society for just a little bit. And my dog was actually in our foster program originally. She had come in with cherry eye and was in foster for about 6 weeks with her foster family. And so once Callie was settled in, Callie's our resident dog, she became a foster big sister. So Callie, she helps dogs get settled. She's really good with boundaries. She loves to hang out with them. And so we bring dogs into our home. She helps them settle down, and it can really help them out. We've fostered 2 dogs now through the SAFE program, 1 for just over 3 weeks and 1 for just a weekend. It's been super great. We've got lots of silly stories from it. One of our foster dogs jumped on the counter and ate a whole pack of bacon. They can be a little silly, a little strange, but we love them. And it's really great too in the SAFE program because you're not just helping the animals in this case, but you're also helping the people. There are people who are struggling with this, and like Kristen said, the animals are their family. So it's nice to be able to help the pets and help the people in the end.
It's so great. Can you know that I've mastered the dog butt rub?
Yep.
always need to know. See that now not going anywhere, Chase?
He's in Zen state.
I love that. We've got some photos too of the volunteers. Really appreciate the two of you coming in, spending some time with us, and getting the SAFE program out there because financially maybe people aren't able to help, but volunteering some of their hours can go a long way in helping these animals and families in our future. So thanks to the two of you for taking some time with us this morning.
And thanks for having us in.
Thank you. Good job,
He had a
buddy.
good time.
Oh, thank you so much. Just what we need. Kisses in the morning. Melissa, I clearly have my hands full, but it's all for a good reason. Back to you for now.
So sweet. Well, you've watched the Canadians rack up the hardware in this sport throughout these Winter Olympic Games, but now we're going to tell you how you can try speed skating for yourself. Mohamed Saab is here from the Ottawa Pacers Speed Skating Club. He is the president. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Okay, it's been an exciting time to watch speed skating over the last few weeks. Tell us about the Ottawa Pacers, the local club here in the city.
Thank you. So good morning, everyone. So the Ottawa Pacers, I'm the president of the Ottawa Pacers Speed Skating Club. So this is a non-for-profit club that is run by volunteers, from the board members to the coaches and a lot of parents. So we offer short track and long track training. Wow. The short track happens at the Bell Sansplex in Canada, and the long track training happens at the Brewer Park Oval.
Okay, so you have differences between the two.
Yeah.
Have you seen the love for the sport grow over the last few years?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially with the Olympics now. We've been having a lot of demands by email and people wanting to join. We decided this week to open a trial for people who want to try speed skating.
Incredible.
This past weekend, we hosted at the Oval Brewer Park a try to speed skate event.
Okay.
And we had a lot of people coming to try.
I bet. So it's for all ages and it's really for all levels. So you can
Exactly.
still pick up the sport if you want to.
Yeah.
That's exciting. Okay, let's talk about the different skates because there's short track and long track.
Yeah.
And it's, I guess, not the same for both.
No. So
Okay.
what you see here, those are the short track blades.
Short
so
track
those are
blades.
fixed.
Yeah.
And
So they're attached.
they're attached to the boots.
Mhm.
Those are the long track,
Yeah.
where we call it also a clap blades. So you can see
Oh.
they clap. This will allow the ankle to stretch while keeping the blades on ice.
Wow.
And this is in short track. It's very useful in the straightaway.
Okay, incredible. Let's talk a little bit about the blade as well, because I was fascinated. Obviously, we know they're longer for a skate, but the blade is also very thin as well. Less blade on the ice.
Yeah. So this
I
is
don't know if you
thinner.
can see that. Yeah.
This is about 1/4 the thickness of a hockey blade. This is very thin. You can try it. It's very sharp. And you'll see later the sharpening jig. So all the sharpening happens manually for speed skates.
Okay, so how would you sharpen your skates, and how often do you have to sharpen your skates? You could show us how it's
Yeah,
done.
sure. So how often is like based on racing? Basically, I have 3 kids, 3 boys.
Yeah.
3 of them, they do speed skates.
All of them are in speed skating.
I sharpen their blades every week.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're doing a lot of
Yeah,
sharpening
yeah.
then. And so because of that, you say you do manual because you're basically sharpening them all the time.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the sharpening jig.
Cool.
You put it. You have to fix.
Clamp it in there.
Put it in here. Tighten.
Wow.
And you have to go with a stone that has different levels,
Okay, so
right?
it's different
And
levels.
this is how you sharpen.
Fascinating.
And as you go smoother, you can turn, so you see different levels,
different
and you
grades.
go different grades, and you
Wow.
keep going, and there you get like the burr.
That very sharp
Yeah.
blade that you require for speed
Correct,
skating.
yeah.
And for people who want more information, how can they get a hold of you? What's the best way? Do you have a website?
Sure. So we have a website, the ottawapacers.ca. People can email us. We have, as you mentioned, so we have all ages from the age of 5 to youth to adults. The oldest we have, I think, in the late 70s. So
Incredible.
it's really for everyone out there who wants to try.
And I like to
speed
say,
skating.
you're never too old to try something new.
Of course.
Well, thank you, Mohamed, for joining us
Thank
today.
you.
We truly appreciate it breaking down speed skating and what we are right now seeing. Of course, coming up next, we are paging Dr. Paul. He is here to talk about what you need to know when it comes to traveling with young kids ahead of March break. He's standing by in the CTV Your Morning Ottawa Lazy Boy Lounge, and will be giving us the details on that coming up next. Here's a live look at our sky cam this morning. A bright and sunny day in the afternoon and mild, a high of -1 later on this afternoon. Good morning, Ottawa. Happy Wednesday. It is 7:28. Thank you so much for joining us here in Your Morning Ottawa. I am Melissa Lamb.
I'm Will Aiello. Rosie's off today, and I know it's 7:30 because our director has his turkey sandwich wrap currently having right now at the midway point. That's how we know we're halfway through the show.
Absolutely. And lots of exciting things on the way as well.
Yeah, it's so great. And you know what? You just had such a great conversation with a gold medalist's parents, and it's so amazing to see how proud they are and getting a little bit more of a background information on how these athletes are from the get-go, and they're destined for greatness.
Absolutely. I love it.
All right, so we're beginning with that nice story, a golden moment for some Ottawa and Quebec-based speed skaters, taking Canada's third gold medal of these Winter Olympic Games in the women's speed skating team pursuit race. An uproar, well-deserving. This was the scene at the watch party for the race at the Colonel By Secondary School, where team member Isabel Weideman was once a student as Canada took the lead. This is the second gold medal win for the team. Weideman and her teammates Valerie Malte and Ivani Blondet also won gold back in 2022 in Beijing. This is the second medal of the Milan Winter Olympics for Malte, who won bronze in the women's 3,000 meters. Here's a look at what's coming up this morning. Lots of excitement on the agenda. Freestyle skiing women's aerials finals at 8 a.m. We are just under 30 minutes away from that. Canada versus Czechia. We got the quarterfinal matchup, men's hockey at 10:40. You gotta stay tuned for that one. We want to see if Sid the Kid can keep it going. Speed skating, short track relay, women's 3,000 meter final at 3 p.m. and then the men's 500 meter is shortly after that.
A 73-year-old Ottawa man will spend the next 2 years under house arrest after killing his ailing husband nearly 4 years ago. Philip Hebert and his husband Richard Rutherford had been together for more than 40 years, and their relationship was described as nearly perfect. Rutherford, a former principal dancer with the Royal Winnipeg Ballet, was dying from cancer. After years of suffering and deteriorating health, Hebert had made a murder-suicide pact with Rutherford. Hebert smothered his husband to death the night of April 15th, 2022, but he was unable to take his own life. The Crown had sought 6 years in prison for the killing. The defense asked for 2 years following a guilty plea. The judge decided that 2 years less a day of house arrest was appropriate.
Justice Phillips said it very, very well. There's no sentence that can ever come close to that sentence. Phil will be serving a life sentence without his partner, and that's the reality of this case.
Justice Kevin Phillips said jail time did not serve the interest of justice, as Hebert is not a danger to the public and he gained nothing from the crime. Hebert will be allowed to leave his home for 3 hours each week for medical appointments and to run errands. And we want to remind you that the Distress Center of Ottawa is there for you 24/7 if you are struggling with your mental health. You can call them anytime at 613-238-3311.
Fort Large Ski Hill reopened Tuesday after a fatal incident involving a child in a chairlift. A 13-year-old girl died at Chio on Sunday after a piece of her clothing got caught in the lift last week. The Quebec agency responsible for inspecting ski lifts says it did conduct an investigation and identified non-conformities with the lift. It says Vorlage has since addressed those issues, allowing all 4 lifts to reopen. There are concerns that a planned tram service connecting Ottawa and Gatineau might be in jeopardy. Gatineau's mayor says the Quebec government is shifting responsibility of the project from the city to a provincial transit infrastructure department. The plan was to have a tram system connect Aylmer to downtown Gatineau and Gatineau to Ottawa. But with the shift in responsibility, Gatineau's mayor says she is no longer confident that the cash flow will remain the same.
The big issue with that is also that the fact that they defund the project. So we have received the mandate to dismantle le bureau projet and to terminate the contract in which we're currently involved with private enterprise.
More than $160 million had been approved and earmarked for the planning stages. Now Gatineau's mayor says they'll have to assess the cost of terminating contracts.
Federal public sector unions say the latest return to office mandate will disproportionately impact women and working parents. Some others say there aren't enough childcare spaces, and returning to the office full time means they may have to quit their jobs. Brooklyn Homes is among thousands of affected by the workforce reductions and says she has until the end of March to decide if she wants to take the part in the voluntary departure program. At the same time, if she returns, she'll be expected to be in the office 4 days a week starting in July under the latest return to office mandate. Her oldest starts kindergarten in the fall, and the start of the school year, the Ottawa Carleton District School Board reported more than 1,000 kids on waitlist for extended programs. Daycare for her youngest is no different. Operators say waitlists have only grown under the $10 a day daycare childcare program, all of which is creating uncertainty for working parents.
I think women disproportionately bear the cost of these kind of policies, so it would be disappointing if the policies resulted in women leaving the workforce in large numbers.
The wait lists were already long, and for folks to find care on such short notice is now just going to add an extra burden to the system, and everyone's going to have more trouble finding childcare to meet the need of this new policy.
In a statement to CTV News, the Canadian Association of Professional Employees says the city is already short 7,000 daycare spots, adding the decision will ultimately impact women who still face disproportionate responsibilities when it comes to childcare and domestic labor.
At least 2 homes have been damaged by a fire in Ottawa's West End. Dashcam video you see there, firefighters say that the call came in just before 2 p.m. reporting a single-family home engulfed in flames on Pelham Crescent near Perth Street. When crews arrived, they could see the fire had spread beyond the walls of the home.
When firefighters arrived on scene, the house that had originally caught fire had spread to the neighbor's house. It became a priority to protect the other houses in the area. All of those were protected by firefighters, and the fire was contained to the 2 houses that were on fire when they arrived.
Paramedics say that a man was taken to hospital for smoke inhalation. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. Well, it's not the result that Atletico Ottawa was hoping for in the first round of the CONCACAF Champions Cup.
Aguilar on the other side of a great pass. Looking for Happy Bullis, stopped on the line.
Atletico coming up short against Nashville FC last night in Hamilton. The reigning CPL champs hoping for an equalizer late in the game, but to no avail.
Nashville will take the win 2-0. The second leg of the series moves to Nashville on the 24th of February. The winner moving on to the round of 16. And you know what? It's because we didn't have snowfall on the ground, not to get our W in there. And it looks like we're actually going to have another day of sunshine, but there could be more snowfall on the way here.
We're kind of seeing a melange of weather. It's mild, it's sunny, and then it's going to get snowy and cold. So we will see a little bit of everything over the next 7 days.
We just had a little tease of that warmth.
Just a little tease of spring conditions yesterday. It really did feel like spring. You could even see the snow melting and people digging out their drains so they can actually have access to the drains on their streets. We are sitting at -5 this morning. We're starting to see some sunshine, but with that wind chill this hour, it still feels like -10. So not super balmy outside to start your day off. It's still a little bit chilly this hour. We are seeing a mix of sun and cloud this morning. That will continue to shine throughout the afternoon. Toronto, they're seeing some wintry weather. So areas along the GTA, some snow mixed in with some freezing rain. It will stay to the south of us and to the west of us as well. So we don't have to worry about that just yet, but we do have some winter weather back on the way in the 7-day forecast, but it will stay nice and sunny today and through tomorrow. Even Friday morning is starting off nice and sunny. It's late in the day that will change. Recess forecast, another beautiful one. We will see that sunshine in the morning into the afternoon. Temps hovering around -5, -4 throughout your morning recess. Then for your afternoon recess today, we'll reach that high of -1 late this afternoon. So it will be a beautiful day to get outside and enjoy the sunshine and the milder temperatures. Fairly mild across the region, a little bit above seasonal, -2 in the valley, Bancroft -1 for Trenton, as well as in Kingston and down in Brockville. 1 is the high in Gatineau today, -1 in Mont-Tremblant, as well as in Montreal. Over the next 5 days, we will start to see a shift in temperatures next week, but we do have 5 days of milder conditions before that. -9 tonight, 0 for tomorrow, sunshine today and through tomorrow, and then snowier for Friday. So Friday will start off sunny. It's late in the evening overnight that we are expecting some snow, about 10 centimeters of snow in total overnight Friday. In through the weekend, forecast highs of -2, and yes, more flurries on the way. On your drive-in right now with your time saver traffic, volume is looking fairly decent east to west. We're just starting to see slowdowns. If you are heading eastbound on the 417, Richmond in through Pinecrest is a bit heavier, same with in through Bronson. Elsewhere on the Queensway this morning, we're also seeing a bit of volume on the McDonald, Cartier, and Champlain bridges this hour.
Traffic brought to you by Presler Injury Lawyers. 1-800-JUSTICE.
When traveling with children, it is important to plan ahead. We are paging Dr. Paul this morning to get his advice on how to best prepare for potential March break travel plans. Good morning to you, Dr. Paul.
Good morning, Will.
And we're going to spend a little bit more time on the first 2 points because they're really important. We want to talk about preparing before you leave.
Well, depending on where you're going, you have to take certain precautions. So we know that worldwide there's a lot of issues, wars and dangers and those type of things. So if you're going to travel, go to the Health Canada website and it'll tell you advisories like don't go there, or be careful of this, be careful of that, depending on where you go. Number one. Number two, it'll tell you what you need to do to get prepared. And we'll talk a bit about that later in terms of vaccinations. So that's number one. So this, we're talking about kids, but it's the whole family traveling, right? So when you're doing air travel, you got to think about, a bit extra time to prepare for the kids. Like you have a child in a car seat, whatever. What are the regulations in the airplane? Do you need to get an extra seat? The child can sit on your certain restrictions. So you don't want to get surprised last minute when you're at the airport, right? I think that's the most important thing. Again, being prepared in terms of knowing where you're going, and also if you're going to do a road trip. I know most people are going to fly, but some people want to do a road trip. And with kids, it's important to put a bit of extra time in there because the kids are going to want to stop a bit more frequently, plan ahead in terms of that. Like, don't rush it. If it's a 4-hour trip, put in your head it might take 5-6 hours.
It's always better to overestimate the time than be in a panicked rush.
And have some stuff in the car to distract the kids. Now we have iPads and all these kind of things that they can do. So again, preparing ahead, going on the website, knowing where to go, what the dangers are, what the issues are, and of course, if it's red, they have a red zone, don't go.
Yeah, red zones are a no-go for you. Okay,
exactly.
So that's a great way to prepare before you leave.
Exactly.
And as we move on, it kind of goes into being prepared as a point number 2.
Exactly. And so I was just reading explosive worldwide measles outbreaks.
Okay. Those are words we like to hear.
I just read on a CBC report. And basically we know, Canada had a lot of measles, but a lot of countries south, Mexico, southern United States, all over the world now, a lot of measles are out there. So really important to get your routine vaccinations up to date. Okay, and when I mean about routine, I mean measles vaccinations, all the childhood vaccinations, including measles. That's very important. Children need 2 shots. Everybody needs 2 shots of measles vaccine, 1 at 12 months and 1 between 4 and 5 years of age. And so please be aware because measles is explosive and rampant worldwide. We have cases in Canada, but it's a bit under control. But in other places of the world, not so. So very important. Also, in terms of vaccines, be prepared. Some countries may require certain vaccinations to go in as part of your visa requirement. And some countries we know have other issues out there, yellow fever, they may have hepatitis, and you might need to get those vaccines before you go. And sometimes you need a 6 to 8 week time frame ahead of time. So that's why I'm talking about preparing ahead. So routine vaccinations and vaccinations that are required for the specific area you're going. If you're going to Fiji and so on, you might need, yellow fever vaccination.
It's particular ones based on the destination you're headed to.
Exactly. And the other thing too is, if you go, there are areas where they have mosquitoes, malaria, you might need to take some medications for that as well during the time. And importantly, if you have medications for yourself or your children, make sure you pack them, if you're flying, pack them on you, not in your carry-on, not in your baggage that you're checking in, because you might lose it.
Yeah, and you need it with you just in case of emergency as well.
Exactly.
All right, we're halfway through. We got to go quickly through the next 2, Dr. Paul, and we're talking about first aid kits.
Yeah, so make sure you have a first aid, wherever you go, either you're flying or you're driving, make sure you have a first aid kit with you, and insect repellent. That's important as well. Again, we're going to the southern areas, particularly there are mosquitoes that are carrying West Nile virus, Zika virus, all these type of things. So make sure you have insecticides, repellents, and sunscreen. We're not used to it right now, but if you go down south, the UV numbers are very high. So make sure, because we're kind of naive. We haven't been in the sun now for a couple of months, right?
Yeah.
So be very careful of that.
Especially when we hibernate with the cloudy skies we've seen, you will always get burned that day, number one.
The first day is the worst.
Yeah. All right, and finally, food, water, and safety.
Again, being part prepared, knowing where you're going, is the water safe? If not, have bottled water, wash your hands, and so on. Follow, again, those precautions. Be careful of the food and those type of things. Because, again, some places don't have the sanitation and, water that we have here in Canada. So just be aware. Again, you want to do all these things ahead of time. You need a break. Kids need a break. Make sure that it's safe and you can enjoy it.
Yeah, appreciate your time, especially ahead of March break and a lot of families traveling. Number one tip, though, always be prepared and give yourself some extra time.
Exactly.
Thanks, Dr. Paul.
My pleasure.
Melissa, over to you.
Coming up next on Your Morning Ottawa, today is the first day of Ramadan. We will learn more about the traditions and meanings with the local imam coming up next. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Skycam this morning, and sunshine in through the afternoon, a high of -1 for your Wednesday. Good morning, Ottawa. It is 7:46. Decided by the sighting of the crescent moon, many Muslims around the globe will be observing Ramadan, fasting from sunup to sundown. And here to tell us more, we have Imam Sikander Hashmi. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Okay, first of all, tell us about the traditions of Ramadan.
Yeah, so Ramadan is a very exciting time in the Muslim community. Main thing, of course, is fasting. The Quran tells us that fasting has been prescribed to us, as it was to nations before us. And this is really interesting because today is also Ash Wednesday and the beginning of Lent. And our Christian neighbors and friends will also be practicing fasting, albeit in a slightly different way. So fasting starts at dawn, and that means your last meal is at dawn, right? So today is 5:35 a.m. approximately. So we got up and had our breakfast, which is not too bad in the winter months, right? Because it's not too early. And then there's no food or drink, not even water, because we get asked that a lot until sunset. And then that's when, of course, everyone feasts because you haven't eaten all day. You would think that people would eat less in Ramadan, but I found myself thinking at breakfast time or in the morning that, oh, goodness, I have to stay hungry all day, so you double up. And then in the evening, you're like, oh, I was hungry all day, so then you double up again, right? So you end up having 4 meals, but that's not supposed to happen. You're the equivalent of 4 meals. But so there's that, and then there's the night prayers. So the mosques are pretty much packed to capacity every evening, and even for the regular prayers. So, for example, I'm in Canada, so the local mosque at least double the turnout for this morning's prayers.
And so what does Ramadan signify?
So it's really about self-control and patience, but ultimately I sort of liken it to a 30-day detox and recharge, right? Spiritual as well as physical to a certain extent. So really trying to reflect upon our past years, or like our bad habits, the sins, the things that we shouldn't have done, seeking repentance, forgiveness, dedication to God, building piety, and then sort of recharging spiritually for the year to come. That, fasting teaches us a lot of patience. Kindness is a major part of it. Charity, having good character, and not just fasting from food and drink, but also like from bad language and just the things like that are hurtful to people and we really shouldn't be doing. So a lot of patience, gratitude, and charity.
And what do the dates signify? Because a lot of you break your fast with dates.
Yes, absolutely. So there's many different types of dates. So we have majula dates here. This is a prophetic tradition to break the fast with, but also to have in the morning as well. Dates are packed with nutrients, right? So a lot of potassium, iron, fiber, sugar as well, right? After that long day of fasting. So this is really sort of like the miracle food. Of course, people eat a lot of other things, but dates are really the go-to, the staple when it comes to breaking the fast.
And how can community members support Muslims during this time?
So, it's kindness can go a long way. So I think just being open to understanding, asking questions. There's no, dumb question as long as it's sincere. But really, also recognizing that schedules will be altered a bit. People won't be having food or drink during the day. So just being a little bit mindful, team group lunches, things like that. I know a lot of schools are very accommodating as well, when it comes to pizza lunches and so on. We don't want it to be canceled, by the way. I don't like it when things are canceled for people who are not fasting. Okay. But just for those who are fasting, a lot of Muslims also become a bit more observant, so they may be looking for maybe a place to pray during the day. The prayers, come a little bit closer. We do have a prayer mat as well, and also it's it's also a time of the revelation of the Quran. So a lot of Muslims will be reading the Quran. We have a clear Quran here in English, the English translation. This is really popular, by the way. It's a Canadian translation of the Quran. So a lot of folks will be reading this. So just having a sense of openness, asking how can we support you, and yeah, just showing a little bit of flexibility and care can go a long way.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, coming up on Your Morning Ottawa, a sing-along screening of a beloved movie musical. We'll tell you about this interactive screening of Cabaret coming up in the next hour on Your Morning Ottawa. Lots of excitement to come. Stay with us, friends. We'll be right back.
Here are your milestone celebrations for Wednesday, February 18th. And we're going to start off with a happy 7th birthday to Maddie. Love from Mommy, Daddy, Anna, and Tucker. We also have a happy 10th birthday. This is going out to Brinley. Hope you have the best day. Love Dad, Mom, Hayden, and Daxton. And we have a very special happy 4th birthday to my daughter, Lola. She is 4 years old today. We want to wish our very feisty little princess a happy 4th birthday. We hope you get all of the stuffies, unicorns, and princess dresses that you possibly can imagine. I can't wait to see what fashions you picked out for on your birthday because you are my little fashionista. And we can't wait to celebrate with you tonight. This is with love from your mommy, your daddy, your big brother Luca, all your grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins. We love you so much, Lola. Happy birthday. And of course, if you have a milestone, celebrate it with us. Send your birthday announcements for kids turning 13 years old or younger. We love also wedding anniversaries for those. We also do birthdays for those turning 100 years or more and wedding anniversaries for those celebrating 50 years or more. Send us those emails, ottawa.milestones@ctv.ca, and we'll be sure to get your announcement on the air.
It's Wednesday, February 18th. A golden moment for speed skaters from Ottawa who won the top prize in the Team Pursuit speed skating event.
Plans for an interprovincial tramway might go off the rails as funding has been put in jeopardy.
Plus, a movie and a sing-along. We tell you how you can take part in an interactive screening of a beloved movie musical this weekend. Your Morning Ottawa continues right now. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. Or good morning, and thanks for joining us here on CTV Your Morning Ottawa. I'm Will Aiello.
And I'm Melissa Lamb. Rosie is away for today.
And we're starting with some good news at this 8 o'clock hour. We begin with a golden moment for some Ottawa and Quebec-based speed skaters taking Canada's 3rd gold medal of these Winter Olympic Games. This is in the women's speed skating team pursuit race. That was the scene at a watch party for the race at Colonel By Secondary School, where team member Isabel Weideman was once a student as Canada took the lead. This is the 2nd gold medal win for the squad. Weideman and her teammates Valerie Malte and Ivani Blondin also won gold medal in 2022 back in Beijing. This is the 2nd medal of the Milan Winter Olympics for Malte, who won bronze in the women's 3,000 meters. It's been so exciting to watch. And if you're not done with the coverage yet, here's a look at what's coming up. So this morning, Canada versus Czechia, quarterfinal men's hockey, 10:40, just under 3 hours away. Women's curling Canada versus Italy, 1:05 this afternoon. And speed skating short track relay, women's 3,000 meter final at 3 p.m. Men's 500 meter is shortly after that.
A 73-year-old Ottawa man will spend the next 2 years under house arrest after killing his ailing husband nearly 4 years ago. Philippe Hébert and his husband Richard Rutherford had been together for more than 40 years, and the relationship was described as nearly perfect. Rutherford, a former principal dancer with the Royal Winnipeg Ballet, was dying from cancer. After years of suffering and deteriorating health, Hébert had made a murder-suicide pact with Rutherford. Hébert smothered his husband to death the night of April 15, 2022, but he was unable to take his own life. The Crown had sought 6 years in prison for the killing. The defense asked for 2 years following a guilty plea. The judge decided that 2 years less a day of house arrest was appropriate.
Justice Phillips said it very, very well. There's no sentence that can ever come close to that sentence. Phil will be serving a life sentence without his partner, and that's the reality of this case.
Justice Kevin Phillips said jail time did not serve the interest of justice, as Hébert is not a danger to the public and he gained nothing from the crime. Hébert will be allowed to leave his home for 3 hours each week for medical appointments and to run errands. And we want to remind you that the Distress Center of Ottawa is there for you 24/7 if you are struggling with your mental health. You can call them at any time, 613-238-3311.
Vorlar Ski Hill reopened Tuesday after a fatal incident involving a child and a chairlift. A 13-year-old girl died at Chio on Sunday after a piece of her clothing got caught in the lift last week. The Quebec agency responsible for inspecting ski lifts says it did conduct an investigation and identified non-conformities with the lift. It says Vorlar has since addressed those issues, allowing all 4 lifts to reopen. There are concerns that a planned tram service connecting Ottawa and Gatineau might be in jeopardy. Gatineau's mayor says the Quebec government is shifting responsibility of the project from the city to a provincial transit infrastructure department. The plan was to have a tram system connect Aylmer to downtown Gatineau and Gatineau to Ottawa. But with the shift in responsibility, Gatineau's mayor says that she is no longer confident the cash flow will be the same.
The big issue with that is also that the fact that they defund the project. So we have received the mandate to dismantle le bureau de projet and to terminate the contract in which we're currently involved with private enterprise.
More than $160 million had been approved and earmarked for the planning stages. Now Gatineau's mayor says they'll have to assess the cost of terminating contracts.
Federal public sector unions say the latest return to office mandate will disproportionately impact women and working parents. Some others say there aren't enough childcare spaces and returning to the office full time means they may have to quit their jobs. Brooklyn Holmes is among thousands affected by workforce reductions, and she has until the end of March to decide if she wants to take part in the voluntary departure program. At the same time, if she returns, she'll be expected to be in the office 4 days a week starting in July under the latest return to office mandate. Her oldest starts kindergarten in the fall, and the start of school year, the Ottawa Carleton District School Board reported more than 1,000 kids on wait lists for extended day programs. Daycare for her youngest is no different. Operators say wait lists have only grown under the $10 a day daycare childcare program, all of which is creating uncertainty for working parents.
I think women disproportionately bear the cost of these kind of policies, so it would be disappointing if the policies resulted in women leaving the workforce in large numbers.
The wait lists were already long, and for folks to find care on such short notice is now just going to add an extra burden to the system, and everyone's going to have more trouble finding childcare to meet the need of this new policy.
In a statement to CTV News, the Canadian Association of Professional Employees says the city is already short 7,000 daycare spots, adding the decision will ultimately impact women who still face disproportionate responsibilities when it comes to childcare and domestic labor.
At least 2 homes have been damaged by a fire in Ottawa's West End. Dash cam footage you see there. Firefighters say the call came in just before 2 in the afternoon, reporting a single-family home engulfed in flames on Pelham Crescent near Perth Street. When crews arrived, they could see the fire had spread beyond the walls of the home.
When firefighters arrived on scene, the house that had originally caught fire had spread to the neighbor's house. It became a priority to protect the other houses in the area. All of those were protected by firefighters, and the fire was contained to the 2 houses that were on fire when they arrived.
Paramedics say that a man was taken to hospital for smoke inhalation. The cause of the fire remains under investigation.
A developer wants to expand the city's urban boundary, but the proposal is seeing some pushback. Claridge Homes has submitted an application to build 2,300 homes in Stittsville. The development would be located on Fluellen and Fernbank roads outside of the current urban boundary. Glenn Gower, the councillor for the area, says he does not support the proposal. He says the homes would be isolated with poor access to transit, schools, and retail. City staff will review the application and bring a recommendation to a city committee at a later date.
The City of Ottawa celebrated Heritage Day at City Hall on Tuesday.
It's an opportunity to look back at the history of Ottawa even beyond 200 years. It's a moment for reflection and really just encouraging citizens and residents of Ottawa to get out and explore their local heritage sites and learn more about Ottawa.
This year's theme was Voices of a City, celebrating 2 centuries of collective histories and local heroes in Ottawa. More than 50 local historical societies, museums, and heritage organizations took part in the public event.
And so great, you see some of the families with the kids there, and you were talking that it's one of the best places that you go with your kiddos.
Oh yeah, I do. It's so nice to get a little history lesson for them and learn, how Ottawa started and became what it is today.
And you know what, for us too, because high school was a little bit ago, so sometimes it's nice to be reminded, or maybe something you didn't learn in high school that you can learn throughout one of these events.
A bit of a refresh of your history lessons of the day.
Yeah, as long as we're not doing grade 2 to 6 math anymore at this point, I think we're okay.
Oh, but then you have to redo it when you have your own kids.
That's what I mean. I'm not prepared for that. Pythagoras theory is it's gone.
I'll let you know how it goes. We are sitting at -6 here in the city. Not a bad looking start to your morning. We're getting to see some sunshine. Does feel closer to -10, so it has dropped a little bit, but that's okay. Normally our temps fluctuate in the morning. It's still nice and sunny out there, so we will see a mix of sun and cloud throughout the day ahead. So a few clouds in the forecast, but nothing like what they're seeing along the GTA. They're seeing a wintry mix of some snow mixed in with some freezing rain. That will stay to the west of us and to the south of us as well, so we won't have to worry about that heading to Ottawa. We are expecting more sunshine today, tomorrow, and even Friday morning's looking pretty good, but we still do have some winter weather on the way. Winter's definitely not over yet. We will reach a high of -1, so quite mild into the afternoon today, fairly a little bit above average for this time of the year, -2 in the valley, as well as in Bancroft for today. 1 is the high over in Gatineau. So throughout the day ahead and throughout the rest of the 7-day forecast, we will see a fluctuation in temps. Tonight, -9, 0 for tomorrow, sunshine over the next few days. Then it will change. Friday, we're expecting some snow. We could see 10 centimeters evening and through your overnight and early morning hours on Saturday. A few scattered flurries for Saturday, Sunday. Then Monday, temperatures cold. The cold weather returns, highs of -6 and -8 next week. On your drive-in right now, traffic is still looking heavy. The slowdowns, if you're heading eastbound on the 417, we're seeing heavy volume. Richmond, Pinecrest, Woodruff, and through Bronson. Also a little slow at the split into downtown if you're heading westbound on the 417. Here's a live look at our Centennial Glass Skycam this morning. We're getting to see some sunshine to kick off your Wednesday. Highs of -1 this afternoon. Good morning, Ottawa. It is 8:12.
Today's snow report brought to you by Sommet Edelweiss, where happiness falls from the sky.
And here are your ski conditions for today. Edelweiss, 2 of 5 lifts are open, and so close. 21 of 22 runs available. Taking a look across the board, Mount Cascade doing very well. 4 of 6 runs available, close to 100% as well. Calabogie Peaks 100% as well as Vorlage. Camp Fortune 5 of 6 with the milder temperatures. It is a great few days to hit the slopes before the cold temperatures rear back in.
JS here again. For the best possible Learn to Ski experience, visit our terrain-based learning facilities here at Summit Edelweiss.
Well, The Honest Talk is a hit podcast that's streaming on iHeartRadio, and co-founder, the one, the only, Jennifer Stewart, is here this morning to explain how it's helping build a national platform for women. Good morning to you, Jennifer.
Good morning, Will. Great to see you.
It's so great to see you as well. It's no surprise to so many that this has just taken off in such a brilliant way. Why do you feel it's resonated so strongly with women right now?
I think we have a lot of Instagram reels for women where we show a glorified life and what it looks like to balance work and to, balance family life or whatever that looks like for women. And I think we really had a craving for some honest talk, hence our name, where we kind of break down the barriers. We show the messy, we show the middle, we show the successes and the challenges. And I think over the course of the 6 years that we've been in existence, we've been able to build that through our platform, the honesttalk.ca. We launched the Women's Summit. We're coming up on our 3rd Women's Summit this year. And we introduced the Women's Retreat last year, and we're bringing that back this November as well. So through all these mechanisms, we're building a really powerful community where we kind of tear down those layers and have honest conversations.
I think you used the perfect word, powerful. And you and I were together last night at an event, and we were talking about authenticity. And, you know, you're giving that safe space for women to be themselves. And the Women's Summit in November, already selling out, no surprise. But why do you think that is, and why they're gravitating towards events?
I think it's important to see each other in person, right? Post-COVID, women really want to get together, and they don't want performative panels. They don't want to feel like they have to put on a mask. They can come as themselves. They can have honest conversations. They can develop a network that can, you know, lead to friendship. It can lead to business opportunities. And you hit upon something really important. We gave our Woman of the Year award last year to Canada's ambassador to the U.S., Kirsten Hillman. She's since stepped down from the role, but she said something really poignant. And she said, the biggest lesson I've learned in business and in life is to let the mask go, because it's so exhausting when you have key messages in your head or you think you have to show up a certain way. And when you truly embrace being yourself, life is so much easier. Business is so much more simple. And that's what we're trying to do. Just show up however you are as yourself, and we will embrace you, and you can be part of our community.
I love that so much, and that's everything that I based my whole life on as well. And I love that the shared values are there. Something really exciting you touched on a little bit. You launched the Honest Talk Retreat. Can you share us some details?
Yes, absolutely. And we have 4 spots left on the retreat. So last year we hosted our retreat at Emerald Lake Lodge in British Columbia, and we were so thrilled. We had Arlene Dickinson join us for the entire retreat. She was scheduled to join us for a session, but she leaned in, and really the connections that were made in those mountains were so special. And we're bringing it back to Quebec this year. We are just north of Montreal at Spa Eastman, November 5th to 8th. And we've got a few tickets left, and we're actually being joined for the duration of the retreat by Premier Kathleen Wynne, who was Ontario's first female premier. And she just has so many insights to share, and really looking forward to that. So if you're interested, we really hope that you'll join us.
Yeah, super excited. Again, for our viewers, only 4 spots left. So if you want to jump on, now's the time. And probably a very important and exciting question I have for you. What is next for the Honest Talk?
Well, we're headed to Calgary on March 9th. We're going coast to coast to coast across Canada. So we've had the summit in Ottawa for 3 years now. We're branching out across the country, and we're just trying to create a community where women feel welcome, seen, and supported.
Jennifer, thank you so much for joining us this morning and continuing to empower women in such a meaningful way. Really appreciate your time.
Thanks, Will. Great to see you.
And a reminder, you can catch The Honest Talk on iHeartRadio. Really powerful conversations going on. That's with Jennifer Stewart and Catherine Clark on iHeartRadio.
And coming up, personal stylist Rebecca Rowe shares her advice on how to troubleshoot an imperfect outfit. Our guest is standing by in the Your Morning Ottawa Lazy Way Lounge. Here's a live look at our sky cam on George Street this morning. The sun is up and will shine into the afternoon. Good morning, Ottawa. It is 8:20. Happy Wednesday. Rebecca Rowe is an Ottawa-based personal stylist who leads an education-forward approach to style using anchor points over body types. And she joins us this morning to share her advice about how to troubleshoot your outfits. Good morning to you, Rebecca.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Okay, tell us a bit about your business and what you do with clients.
For sure. So I am, like I said, an education-forward stylist. So really what I focus on is education and how to take what's already in your closet and just make it a little bit better.
Okay.
So what we're going to do today, we're going to troubleshoot my outfit.
I love it.
We're doing the oversized on oversized trend. This is a huge trend that's happening right now. But the main thing I want to talk about is the anchor points.
Okay.
So there are 3 main anchor points on a human body. There's kind of like chin down, your waist, and your feet.
Okay.
This outfit currently has none of them. So first thing we're going to do is get something to fit.
Okay.
So now I'm 6'1".
Yes.
But you see this with petite women all the time. So like jackets that are a little bit too long, shirts that are a little bit too long. So for a shirt, I wanted to hit kind of like right at that wrist bone.
Yeah.
But I never want it to hit your joints.
Okay.
So your waist is on the same line as your elbows. So if I put a straight line over your waist, it's going to make your waist look bigger.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Okay.
So first things first, let's get something to fit.
Yeah.
And then let's add a neck anchor point. So for me, I don't like showing a lot of skin. It's just not part of my personal style. But while I'm struggling with this, I will put on a necklace.
Buttons are difficult with nails sometimes,
oh my
right?
gosh, they're terrible. But
okay, so you're going to add this to kind of jazz it up the outfit and to add that anchor point?
Yeah, we're going to add a hard element.
Okay.
So an anchor point can be anything that feels visually hard. So sometimes it can be metallic, like what I'm doing with this stone necklace. This one I got at Stunning. It could be something dark like a tie. It could be, if you're doing a waist, it could be a belt. If you're doing feet, it could be something quite dark and quite heavy.
Okay.
So already, I feel like this is looking better, right?
Absolutely.
Now, because I don't want just this to be a box.
So volume, so much volume?
A little bit too much volume for me, but we're just gonna open this up, especially because I've done it all the way up to the top. So now we've created this upside down triangle, but it's pointing to my waist. So I'm still getting a little bit of waist definition.
Yeah.
My jeans are quite high-waisted, so I can probably go up a wee bit.
Okay.
Here. And then all we're doing is playing with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then there's a lot of light colors in the outfit right now, so there's nothing visually grounding the outfit. So I'm going to swap into the dark shoes.
Okay. Adding a little heel.
Adding a heel, it doesn't have to be a heel. This is what I had that was easy to put on that I tried really hard not to fall on.
Yes, yes.
But you see how it's visually dark?
Absolutely.
So now we've anchored the outfit to the floor.
Okay.
Now this could have been like heels like yours, heels like mine. Could also just be like a dark sneaker or like so a black, a
ballet
brown,
flat.
ballet flat, something that has some visual weight to it.
Okay.
So does that make sense so far?
Yeah, absolutely. Dark colors would help kind of bring that visual weight to it, the darker colors.
Exactly. Now you have to be careful with dark colors because you don't want to have an all colored outfit and then add black shoes. It's usually where people go wrong because they're trying to create a very whimsical look and then they're throwing really dark shoes, which is pulling all the information down.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah,
How can people
pleasure.
get a hold of you?
So you can check me out on my website, RebeccaRowe.ca, and honestly, if you type in RebeccaRowe.ca into Google, you will find me on all of my platforms.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for helping us learn how to dress today. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Will, over to you.
Well, Melissa, we are cooking up something delicious, but not just for fun, but also to get into a nice meditative state. Yoga, good food, good times coming up ahead of maybe a Women's Weekend, maybe Mother's Day. Danielle is here, the legend, to show us some recipes to make sure we're feeling good this time of year. That's coming up, and we're going to take a peek outside to see what's going on and the sunshine reappearing. Oh, it's so nice to have mild temperatures, but will it last? Stay with us. Full details coming right up.
What makes your community special? Join us next week for Your Neighborhood, showcasing the people and places that make the National Capital Region shine.
Your Neighborhood on CTV Your Morning Ottawa. Brought to you in part by the Clemo. Choose the Clemo and start living your life your way.
Good morning and happy Wednesday. Thank you so much for joining us here on Your Morning Ottawa. I am Melissa Lamb.
I'm Will Aiello. Rosie is off today. The sun is shining, and we're starting our newscast with some great news. We begin with a golden moment for some Ottawa and Quebec-based speed skaters, taking Canada's third gold medal of these Winter Olympic Games in the women's speed skating team pursuit race. Gives you chills, doesn't it? This was the scene at a watch party for the race at Colonel By Secondary School, where team member Isabel Weideman was once a student as Canada took the lead. This is the second gold medal win for the squad. Weideman and her teammates, Valerie Malte and Ivani Baudin, also won gold medal back in 2022 in Beijing. This is the second medal of the Milan Winter Olympics, where Malte also won bronze in the women's 3,000 meters. And it keeps on chugging along. This is what we got for you throughout the morning and afternoon. Canada versus Czechia, quarterfinal men's hockey at 10:40. Women's curling Canada versus Italy at 1:05 this afternoon. And speed skating short track relay. This has been so awesome to watch. Women's 3,000 meter final at 3 p.m. with the men's 500 meter sprint shortly after.
A 73-year-old Ottawa man will spend the next 2 years under house arrest after killing his ailing husband nearly 4 years ago. Philip Hebert and his husband Richard Rutherford had been together for more than 40 years, and their relationship was described as nearly perfect. Rutherford, a former principal dancer with the Royal Winnipeg Ballet, was dying from cancer. After years of suffering and deteriorating health, Hebert had made a murder-suicide pact with Rutherford. Hebert smothered his husband to death the night of April 15, 2022, but he was unable to take his own life. The Crown had sought 6 years in prison for the killing. The defense asked for 2 years following a guilty plea. The judge decided that 2 years less a day of house arrest was appropriate.
Justice Phillips said it very, very well. There's no sentence that can ever come close to that sentence. Phil will be serving a life sentence without his partner, and that's the reality of this case.
Justice Kevin Phillips said jail time did not serve the interests of justice, as Hebert is not a danger to the public and he gained nothing from the crime. Hebert will be allowed to leave his home for 3 hours each week for medical appointments and to run errands. And we want to remind you that the Distress Center of Ottawa is here for you 24/7. If you are struggling with your mental health, you can call them anytime at 613-238-3311.
Vorlage Ski Hill reopened Tuesday after a fatal incident involving a child and a chairlift. A 13-year-old girl died at Chio on Sunday after a piece of her clothing got caught in the lift last week. The Quebec agency responsible for inspecting ski lifts says it conducted an investigation and identified non-conformities with the lift. It says Vorlage has since addressed those issues, allowing all 4 lifts to reopen. There are concerns that a planned tram service connecting Ottawa and Gatineau might be in jeopardy. Gatineau's mayor says the Quebec government is shifting responsibility of the project from the city to a provincial transit infrastructure department. The plan was to have a tram system connect Aylmer to downtown Gatineau and Gatineau to Ottawa. But with a shift in responsibility, Gatineau's mayor says she is no longer confident the cash flow will be the same.
The big issue with that is also that the fact that they defund the project. So we have received the mandate to dismantle le bureau projet and to terminate the contract in which we're currently involved with private enterprise.
More than $160 million have been approved and earmarked for the planning stages. Now Gatineau's mayor says they'll have to assess the cost of terminating the contracts.
Federal public sector unions say the latest return to office mandate will disproportionately impact women and working parents. Some others say there aren't enough childcare spaces, and returning to the office full-time means they may have to quit their jobs. Brooklyn Holmes is among thousands affected by workforce reductions, and she has until the end of March to decide if she wants to take part in the voluntary departure program. At the same time, if she returns, she'll be expected to be in the office 4 days a week starting in July under the latest return to office mandate. Her oldest starts kindergarten in the fall, and at the start of the school year, the Ottawa Carleton District School Board reported more than 1,000 kids on wait lists for extended daycare programs. Daycare for her youngest is no different. Operators say wait lists have only grown under the $10 a day childcare program, all of which is creating uncertainty for working parents.
I think women disproportionately bear the cost of these kind of policies, so it would be disappointing if the policies resulted in women leaving the workforce in large numbers.
The wait lists were already long, and for folks to find care on such short notice is now just going to add an extra burden to the system, and everyone's going to have more trouble finding childcare to meet the need of this new policy.
In a statement to CTV News, the Canadian Association of Professional Employees says the city is already short 7,000 daycare spots, adding the decision will ultimately impact women who still face disproportionate responsibilities when it comes to childcare and domestic labor.
At least 2 homes have been damaged by a fire in Ottawa's West End. Firefighters say the call came in just before 2 in the afternoon, reporting a single-family home engulfed in flames on Pelham Crescent near Perth Street. When the crews arrived, they could see the fire had spread beyond the walls of the home.
When firefighters arrived on scene, the house that had originally caught fire had spread to the neighbor's house. it became a priority to protect the other houses in the area. All of those were protected by firefighters, and the fire was contained to the 2 houses that were on fire when they arrived.
Paramedics say that a man was taken to hospital for smoke inhalation. The cause of the fire remains under investigation.
A developer wants to expand the city's urban boundary, but the proposal is seeing some pushback. Claridge Homes has submitted an application to build 2,300 homes in Stittsville. The development would be located on Fluellen and Fernbank roads outside of the city's urban boundary. Glenn Gower, the councillor of the area, says he does not support the proposal. He says the homes would be isolated with poor access to transit, schools, and retail. City staff will review the application and bring a recommendation to a city committee at a later date.
Well, skaters rejoice. The Rideau Canal Skateway has reopened.
The National Capital Commission closed the skateway Monday night to allow for crews to smooth out the ice surface after a very busy weekend.
The entire length opened back up at 8 o'clock, along with skate rental services, change rooms, and concession stands.
The NCC says there have been more than 785,000 visits so far this season. So many happy faces out along the Rideau Canal Skateway. It's such an iconic thing to do in Ottawa.
700,851 to come.
Oh, yes.
Because I'm planning to go now that it's reopened
right.
over the next couple of days. It is. You know what? And I was driving in this morning, and I had one of those moments where as you drive and you see, and it's just like, as you come downtown Ottawa, it is so beautiful. And it's so nice that we have the ability right here in the nation's capital to do something like that.
We know today fresh ice because they did some TLC work on it last night, yesterday into last night. So we know the skaters out on it right now have that perfect, pristine, fresh ice.
It's like the fresh pow on the ski hill. Get on there while it's nice and smooth.
Oh, nothing like a nice slippery surface and some perfect weather for skating on the canal today. If you can't get out today, try tomorrow because it will be nice and clear and sunshine on the way. Fairly mild as well. We are sitting at -6 this morning, so temperatures fluctuating slightly. -2 in Kingston, -4 in Brockville. Still a little bit of a wind chill out there. Feels like -10 here in the city, -11 out in the valley, but some perfect conditions for the Rideau Canal Skateway. We will see a mix of sun and cloud this morning into your afternoon, so overall a beautiful sunny day. The winter weather will stay southwest of us to areas along the GTA. They are expecting some snow mixed in with some freezing rain. For us here in Ottawa, sunshine today and through tomorrow, so we are not expecting more winter weather until Friday. That's when we could see a few more snowflakes in the forecast for us. Temps over the next few days staying mild, -1 for this afternoon, so that is above the norm. It will feel closer to -3 into your day ahead, -2 in through Pembroke as well as in Bancroft, so temperature is very mild across the region. -1 is your daytime high for Montreal. So over the next 7 days, again, some mild conditions over the next 5 days and then colder in through next week. 0 for tomorrow. Perfect days to head to the ski slopes. Of course, the Rideau Canal Skateway, we have some ideal conditions for that over the next 2 days. As we head into Friday, slightly colder but more average for this time of the year. -3 is the high, and we are expecting snow, 10 centimeters of fresh snow on the way for us in time for the weekend. We are expecting it late in the day on Friday, overnight and into early morning hours on Saturday. More snow on the way Saturday and through Sunday. Temperatures staying mild. And then next week, the cold conditions are back. Yes, colder temps, -6 on Monday, -8 on Tuesday. Overnight lows back into the -20s.
Weather brought to you by Yetgendorf Rashid. Experience, knowledge, and a commitment to excellence.
A traffic note for you this morning. Albion is reduced to 1 lane between Leitrim and Leicester due to a collision. We also have a collision westbound on the 174. It is reduced to 2 lanes between Blair and the 417. Another collision westbound on the 417 at Saint Laurent has the left lane closed. Some buildup right now eastbound on the 417 at the 416 split in through Maitland.
Doesn't that look tasty? Daniela joins us, the Ottawa Holistic Private Chef, cooking up some great meals, but also some great ideas as she has a wonderful retreat coming up. I always love when you stop by. It's the Will and Daniela Show. We're talking good foods, gut health. Welcome this morning.
Thank you so much, Will. I love being here. It's such a pleasure. And I love the opportunities I get to have to talk about my business and food and all these cool things that I'm doing.
It's so great. So I want to talk about that retreat before we get into some really gut-friendly foods.
For sure. So I'm an in-home personal chef, and usually I'm just cooking in your neighbor's kitchen, doing meal prep and small dinner parties. But a friend of mine who's also a yoga teacher, Julia, her and I get often hired for other people's retreats. And we were talking about, why don't we do our own so we can do what we want want and food that we like. So we've booked a beautiful space in Merrickville the weekend of May 22nd, perfect for Mother's Day.
Oh, yes, yes.
And it's a 1850s mansion with a huge kitchen, and we're going to be doing cooking lessons and yoga.
How fun is that?
Yeah.
You know, what a perfect gift, a unique gift where you can enjoy it. And of course, huge kitchen had to be a mandatory item.
Absolutely, absolutely. So the theme that we're going for is anti-inflammatory and food that makes you feel your best, so that you can learn how to take the skills that I'm going to teach you there home, how to create lunches and breakfasts and menu items that make you feel good, full of nutrition, full of micronutrients, and fresh, right?
It's so important too, because it's the old saying, like, I like to think about it because I've been big on the gut health. You are what you eat.
Yeah, you
and
really
what
are.
you eat makes you feel good, so we're going to actually give you a little taste of what you might have with some good gut stuff.
So exactly. So I just thought I would showcase some breakfast items and some lunch and dinner items, as well as some anti-inflammatory foods. Now, what does anti-inflammatory mean? It means, you know, when you have a cut or a bruise or you have a red spot on your skin, you know it's inflamed, right? Your body can be like that as well. If you're eating foods that don't agree with your stomach, or you're having gut issues, it creates inflammation in your body and can make you bloated or feel uncomfortable or just general blah. If you feed your body full of foods that are close to nature and good for your gut health, it can help create anti-inflammation, and it can counteract all that stuff, and it can make you feel your best, right? You know what it's like to eat well and when you don't eat well.
I'm going with your tagline you're going to use probably for the future: avoiding the blah.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. So we'll start over here, and I just wanted to showcase what I'm going to be teaching, how you can still have delicious foods, but in an anti-inflammatory way. So this is a beautiful coconut milk panna cotta that is like a gelatin dessert that I made with gelatin, lemon juice, maple syrup, and coconut milk instead of like a traditional whipping cream full of sugar. And then we have my favorite joke of the day, my yogurt parfait. I make my own yogurt with goat milk or coconut milk, and that's something I'm going to be teaching at the retreat. On the first night, we're going to put the yogurt on to ferment, and then on the morning of the last day of the retreat, we're going to eat the yogurt that we've made together.
Oh, well, that's going to namaste with me.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that. And then we have a healthy chocolate pudding made with coconut milk and cocoa powder, vanilla, and maple syrup. So you can still have indulgent and decadent foods that are actually really good for your body. And this is one of my favorite breakfast items. It's a chia pudding parfait that I make with cooked quinoa, cinnamon, and a little bit of milk of your choice, dairy-free or what have you. So then we're moving on to some more savory items. I love local pastured eggs. They are full of protein, full of choline, full of lots of nutrition, really affordable. And we have so many amazing local farms here in the Ottawa area where you can, you know, get really great stuff like that. And then, you know, some wild-caught salmon, quinoa, some simple roasted veggies. I love to use olive oil, so all of the oils you see here are olive oil. I started a little salad dressing before I came and thought you could help with this. I've put a squirt of mustard, some lemon juice, some olive oil, a splash of maple syrup for sweetness. And then I have this stuff here that I love to use. It's called nutritional yeast. Have you ever used that before?
Yes, I have. I bought it wrong the first time, and I got yeast and not. Anyway, we don't need to go there today.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeast, it's not for pizza. And it's not for making bread. It's for adding a lovely umami and cheesy flavor and tons of vitamins and B12. Yeah, you can put that lid on and shake that right up.
We got just under a minute here, so I can work quickly.
Love it.
Boom diggity.
And you can like pour some of that on there.
Very aesthetically.
Very aesthetically, absolutely. I've got some toppings for the yogurt parfait. Things like walnuts, which are full of omegas and full of fatty acids that are super anti-inflammatory. You know, dates that are nice and sweet snack, but not for like raising your blood sugar. They're really good for, you know, healthy stuff like that. So yeah, so Merrickville, the third week of May. All of the links and stuff are on my Instagram, and you can find me online or in your neighbor's kitchen, right?
I appreciate that. Always in your neighbor's kitchen and in our kitchen today. It is so great when you have you stop by, and I love to because you can make it your own with the yogurt parfait or whatever you have in here. Thanks for joining us, and good luck on that retreat. That sounds awesome.
We'd love to have you. Thank you.
All right, if you want to visit us here in Your Morning, the Laurier Kitchen, you can email us, yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca. We would love to have you on. Maybe it's food and yoga. Maybe it's CrossFit and protein. Whatever it might be. Come on into our show. Let's take a peek outside, shall we? Our Centennial Glass Skycam showing some sunshine on this beautiful Wednesday. We'll be right back.
Well, it's one of the most beloved movie musicals of all time, directed by Bob Floss and starring Liza Minnelli. And you have a chance to catch Cabaret on big screens this weekend. You're invited to actually also sing along as well. We have Sue Murphy here from Tone Cluster to give us all those details. This sounds fantastic. Tell us what's happening.
Sure. Well, Saturday night, February 21st, we're going to be having a fundraiser for Tone Cluster, which is a local choir, and we're going to be singing along to the classic movie Cabaret, starring Liza Minnelli and Joel Grey, and yeah, it's going to be a great time. We're inviting people to come down to the Bytown. The show starts at 6:15, and fill up the seats and sing your lungs out.
And so people are encouraged to sing along.
Oh yeah,
well.
no, the whole idea is to give the community a chance to come together and just do something really fun and really different with the big screen there, and yeah, it's gonna be a great time.
And why did you choose this movie?
Well, you know, there are lots of options, right? When you're planning an event like this, and we chose Cabaret for a few reasons. One, it's a classic, and also, you know, it's set in 1930s Berlin, right? Pre-war, the rise of fascism and all of that kind of stuff. So, you know, we see that there's some links to maybe some of the things that people are feeling and experiencing today. So we wanted to put some positive light onto things, because the movie really also is about music and celebration in spite of adversity, and you know, we love to bring that to the forefront and just bring people in to have a good time.
Wonderful. Please introduce your choir members and what they'll be singing here for us today.
Yes, so we have Janelle and we have Deirdre, and they are going to be doing a song called Maybe This Time from the musical, and yeah, it's going to be great.
All right, well, we'll let you take it away.
Maybe this time I'll be lucky. Maybe this time he'll stay. Maybe this time, for the first time, love won't hurry away. He will hold me fast. I'll be home at last. Not a loser anymore, for the last time and the time before. Everybody loves a winner, so nobody loved me. Lady peaceful, lady happy, that's where I long to be. All the odds are in my favor. Something's bound to begin. It's gotta happen sometime. Maybe this time I'll
Incredible. Thank you both so much for joining us today. And of course, for tickets and more information, you can head to the Bytown's website at bytown.ca. And of course, this is a Cabaret sing-along fundraiser happening this Saturday. Head to their website for ticket information. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, everybody. A reminder, we have this brilliant new segment called Your Neighborhood, where we highlight many different businesses, restaurants, albeit in your communities. We're heading to different neighborhoods each and every month. If you have a great spot that Melissa, myself, or Rosie should head to, send us an email, yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca. It has been such a pleasure highlighting some of these sweet spots. You know, we've been raised in Ottawa our whole lives, and there's some staples, but it's so great to find some gems.
Absolutely, and we're going to be highlighting the Glebe next week, so you'll have to stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for joining us here this morning. We'll see you back here bright and early, or dark and early tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Have a great day, everyone.